Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on, sir?
You been coming up. You been stepping your game up. What's going
Yeah.
on?
Still ain't got no money in my pocket though.
You tell me later. Well, at the truth,
I think some cars in their hands. I know I saw something about they can't see themselves. Oh, they I know. They trying. Right.
she was a fish.
How many things we got today? Did you bring them down?
She does a great job.
I didn't ask you.
I'm not gonna say so when y'all play red.
I did not. I ain't got a call back in. I'm still trying. Look,
He's on the phone. But he on the phone.
you all the That's a whole nother story.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I say he got that.
Who's in there anyway? Parts now.
Miami Vice.
My phone was blowing. I'm sorry. So unanimous could have been whatever. But were there some where there? That's not what it says. That's the problem. That's corn. So corn. I said, it feels like a public holiday. And I said, that's my favorite. Look, I appreciate you all. Really? Okay. Cool. Hey, Tom, you all right?
Ladies.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Shreveport City Council meeting. This meeting is now called to order. I'm going to ask Pastor Don Taylor to come and give the invocation, and I'm going to ask Councilman Jackson to lead us in the pledge. Would everybody please stand?
Dear Lord, we come before you with thanksgiving in our hearts, thanking you for this day we've never seen before. Thank you for everything that's occurring here on today. We pray for your guidance, dear Lord. Lord God, we thank you for this council, dear Lord. We thank you for the city government and what they are doing for our city. And we pray, dear Lord, that what we do today will be pleasing in your sight. And we truly thank you for it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Let's all face the flag and recite with me. I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Taylor.
Present.
Councilman Brooks.
Here.
Councilman Talaferro.
Here, ma'am.
Councilman Butcher.
Here.
Councilman Jackson.
Here.
Councilman Green.
I'm here.
And Councilwoman Bowman.
Present.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the administrative conference Monday, March 9, 2026, and the city council meeting Tuesday, March 10, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, good Lord. So moved by Councilman Green, second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7
Does any council member have any awards, recognition, or distinguished guests not to exceed 15 minutes?
Madam Chair, I do.
Okay. Councilman Jackson.
I want to acknowledge all the dignitaries in the House and all the potential honorees today. I did ask Madam Chair to go first, and I'm happy that she allowed me to go first. There's some people in the audience today that I feel like always put everybody first but themselves. So I wanted to take the opportunity to make sure that they get their just due as well. I'm going to ask the ladies of Best 13 to come to the podium for me today.
Thank you so very much for this opportunity, Mr. Jackson. To our mayor, to Mr. Dark, and to all the councilmen that are here, thank you so much for this opportunity. We are Best 13. We are a nonprofit grassroots organization, and we work well with the youth and it's with the communities. And we're here today because it's Women's History Month. And we want to make sure that we acknowledge all the great work that our women are doing in our city. Today, we stand in gratitude to honor two phenomenal women, Councilman Tabitha Taylor and Councilman Ursula Bowman. Women who just not hold titles, but carry purpose. Women who just don't speak, but they create change. Women who just don't show up, but they stand up for their community every single day. Councilman Taylor, your leadership reflects strength, vision, and you deserve to get all the flowers that you deserve today. You remind us that presentation matters, and when you lead with grace. Miss Ursula Bowman, we also want to acknowledge you. You are a woman with poise, you hold many titles, and you carry it well. Women just don't speak, but you create the change, you create the communities, and you get the job done. You both are a pillar, a connector, and a true example of service and action. Together, you both represent what it means to lead with heart, integrity, and purpose. On behalf of Best 13 and the community, we honor you today. Clap. Because both of you women are appreciated, and we thank you so very much for everything you have done for the city of Shreveport. You guys, I look forward to working with you and having a prosperous future, and you guys are unstoppable. Thank you. So we also would like to recognize 4 other women who sit on this council, who work diligently. They work hard. They get the job done when you don't see it. They're unstoppable as well. And we just want to recognize these ladies. Miss Jacqueline White, Miss Tanya Bowman. Miss Tanya Bowman is a council analyst. Jacqueline White is a city attorney auditor. And Lynette Stewart is also plays a vital role in maintaining the integrity, efficiency, and professionalism of the city. Thank you, ladies, so much. If you would come down and receive your awards. I'm sorry, I overlooked. We have one more lady, Miss Tara Bradford. She's the assistant to the mayor.
Y'all look mess for real.
Jackie.
Can they come down? Come down and receive your award.
Thank you. I couldn't tell you earlier.
Okay, this is Miss Bradford. Yeah, that's Miss Tabitha. Miss Jacqueline White. Miss Stewart.
Oh, that is so nice.
Which way you want us to turn? This way?
This is so, oh my God. Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
Yes, man, love you.
Can I do my two? My lips are sealed.
Congratulations, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, Ms. White, Ms. Bowman, Ms. Stewart, and Ms. Bradford. I did not have anything to do with this. This was 100% on Best 13, so congratulations to that organization. I was simply assisting, but well deserved. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We were recognizing everybody else today. Councilman Green.
Thank you. I'd just like to recognize two of my heroes that's here today. Mrs. Mary Nell Nash and Mrs. Mary Tremell. Would you all just stand up?
You can stop there frowning, Dr. Robertson. You know we love you. Cut it out. Cut it out. Okay. Any other council
Thank you
members?
all, and I really appreciate all that you all do. And also, Ms. Mary Tremell, thank you for celebrating my birthday with me on the same date yours is. All right. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, you're welcome. So today we have many special guests in the room, but we have some extremely special guests who are young people that set a record that was transformative for the Cooper Road community. So I'm just going to do this right here. I don't know why y'all sit down. Believe in the G. Believe in the G. Seriously. Believe in the G. The semifinals championship run that you all created a aura in the Cooper Road community that was so transformative that it had us crying for days, simply because we found something. You all produced something that brought our community together. We hear about things that sometimes are not so pleasant, but we wanted the world to know you all are the game changers. We have sat in our seats who reside in the Cooper Road community and beyond, who no longer live there, but are Cooper Road kids such as myself, and prayed for this hope that this change. And watching you all in Lake Charles did everything to me. I thought I was gonna get put out the stadium because I forgot you just can't say stuff to the ref, you know, whatever they call themselves. But it was so impactful what you did. And you could feel and you could see the burning desire of you all wanting to bring this championship home. And so it was so important to individuals in the community that they wanted to bring you and give you a hero's welcome. So we got on their phone with Lola and Angela and Irma and Angela over here and Tasha and everybody to make things happen. I called Patrick, I called Cedric Glover. I was like, listen, we really have to make this happen again, and do we have any police escorts? So I want to take this time to thank Chief Wayne Smith, Captain Colette Kelly, Southern University Chancellor Dr. Gant, and Captain Ivy. I want to thank Representative Darrell Joy and the Louisiana State Police Department. Anybody that I'm missing for police? Because what they did is provided them a hero's welcome. They had the most monumental escort that I almost couldn't drive because it was so impactful, lining up the streets of MLK. And what you saw was every entity of law enforcement escorting them in from Lake Charles into their community, to their school. And this was done for you. Everything about what we're doing is for you. You don't let anybody else, it's all about you. It's all about you. Coaches, thank you. Thank you so much, Coach Wiggins, Coach Harris, your team, to the principal. I forgot to call the principal that day and tell him what we was doing. I said, oops, big mistake on my part, but let me tell you something. Your team, your school is the uniter that we have because education is highly important. But education and discipline means everything. To the parents who are the parents of these amazing 8 young men, great job. Great job. Great job. So we have some little gifts for you today. And so, Madam Clerk, I will ask for you to please read the resolution.
A resolution recognizing the Green Oaks High School boys basketball team for its historic season. Whereas the Green Oaks High School boys basketball team achieved a historic milestone by advancing to the Louisiana High School Athletic Association state semifinals, ending a 43-year drought from the program. Whereas entering the playoffs, the 11th-seeded Green Oaks Giants began their journey with a first-round overtime victory over Manning High School and continued their historic run with the upset over the Rayville High School, a heavily favored, higher-seeded opponent. And whereas in the quarterfinal round, in one of the most thrilling games, the Giants secured a victory in front of a packed home crowd while competing with only 7 players embodying the next man up mentality. Whereas the playoff performers advanced the Giants to their first state semifinals appearance, where they battled to the end in a close game, but came up short to Madison High School by a score of 49-46. Whereas the accomplishments of the 2026 Green Oaks extended beyond the final score, reflecting hard work, unity, restoring the program, inspiring the next generation, and authoring one of the most memorable playoff runs in program history, reminding the community what Green Oaks and the Cooper Road stand for. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Shreveport in regular session convened that it does hereby recognizes Quintavia Sanford, Larry Nichols, Javante Dean, DeLorean Benjamin, Josh Tellis, Cyrus Wilson, Jacorius Smith, Keyshawn Williams, Jamarcus Jones, Messiah Theus, head coaches Demetrius Wiggins, assistant coaches Carl Harris, Brian Nichols, Dwight Anthony, and congratulate them for their historic season.
No, we're not finished. 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 Claudel, I know you being a parent, you have your chest stuck out. With Q on the front row, actually having this amazing surprise on his birthday. So everybody tell Q happy birthday. But I want you to know, not only did your championship run hit the city of Shreveport and the state of Louisiana, it also reached the federal level. So here today is Quentin Ott on behalf of Congressman Cleo Fields that want to actually present you all with commendations from Cleo Fields, Congressman Cleo Fields. So, yep, they heard about you all the way in Washington.
Most definitely. Good afternoon to everyone, to the mayor, your staff, councilwoman, councilmen, and to the staff of the city council. Today is a magnificent day to shed light on Green Oaks basketball. Can we get a round of applause? So, Congressman Cleo Fields, well, first I want to say Councilwoman Tabitha Taylor called my phone and said, we have to honor these young men and honor these coaches. And so I called Congressman Fields. I told him what's going on. He said, let's do it. Let's get it down from D.C. and let's honor these young men. So I would like to give a congressional commendation that says that Demetrius Wiggins, Outstanding leadership as a head coach of the Green Oaks basketball program, guiding the team to a historic 2026 playoff run and a state semifinal appearance for the first time in 43 years. This achievement reflects Coach Wiggins' dedication to discipline, perseverance, and the continued success of Green Oaks student athletes. Signed by Congressman Cleo Fields, member of Congress, 6th Congressional District.
Amen.
So what we want to do. So what we would like to do is, I would like to present each one of you with a congressional commendation from DC. And so I'm gonna call you guys one by one. So first, can I have Coach Demetrius Wiggins, head coach? Can I have Assistant Coach Carl Harris? Can I have Assistant Coach Brian Nichols? Yes, sir. Can I have Assistant Coach Dwight Ampey? Can I have Messiah Theus? Can I have Jamarcus Jones? Can I have Keyshawn Williams? Gosh, man, congratulations, man. Can I have Ja'Cory Smith? Yes, sir. Almost done. Josh Tellis. Can I have Cyrus Wilson? Can I have Delarian Benjamin? Can I have Larry Nichols? Congratulations, man. Two more. Javante Dean. Gotcha, man. Last but not least, we have Quintavia Sanford. Congratulations. Thank you guys for letting us present those.
You're welcome.
Most definitely.
So they can go back and take their seat. I
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
one
Take a
last
seat.
thing for you all.
Most definitely.
Just one.
I got one more thing.
Not only did your story make city, state, and national news, pretty much touch internationally as well, just so you all will know that. So, Angela, I think you had a small request, Ms. Robertson. So I'm gonna ask Dwayne if he would cue up these screens so you can listen to somebody tell your story.
They counted them out from the start. Number 11 seed, no expectations. On Cooper Road, pressure builds diamonds. First round, overtime, set the tone. Second round, on the road against a team that only lost once all year. They shocked everybody. Run for your life, man. Gang shit, gang shit. Then came the moment. The grade 8, Mac Jim. Season on the run. Oh my goodness. They found a way. This wasn't just a run. This was grit. This was belief. This was Cooper Road. District A.
Good. Lord have mercy.
So, I just want you to know the impact you had on all of us.
Wow.
You are somebody special, and I wanted the world to know just how special you are and how special the Cooper Road really is. Welcome to District 8. All the parents, please stand up. All of those who work together for these individuals, all y'all on the second row, stand up. Now, I'm going to ask all of my council members, as well as the mayor, to please join us as we take a picture. Now you can come up here and take a picture.
That's next level. Okay.
Let's come up to the front. Come up here, all the way up. Council members, I need you on this level for the first level. Councilwoman Taylor, you want to go here? Yeah, I'll pull Councilwoman Taylor in the middle. Okay. You want them up here? You want the council members up here? Up here? Upstairs? You want everybody on the stage? Okay. Guys, take one step back for me, from 3 steps back in the background. There you go. Madam Taylor, Madam Chair, if we can get you in the middle. Make sure you're in the window, guys, so we can see everybody. Come right here. Yep, right here. Come right here. Right here. Yep, right there.
I can't jump. I can't jump, baby.
Mayor. Yep. There you go. You're good. Coach. Scoot to this way. Yep. Mm-hmm. No, you stay right there. You stay there. Yep, Coach, right there. You go. Make sure everybody in the window. All right, you're good.
Right here. 2 more times. Go ahead. Right here, this is a federal. Hey, real quick, listen to me.
All right. 8 players. Most of them have 15 or 20.
Just the team. Okay? Everybody look this way.
Put me in, Coach.
Got it.
Wow. Green Oak.
Make sure they have an excuse.
Hey, everybody, this was a birthday boy right here, y'all. We'll see y'all next year.
Now the council would like to honor the amazing ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And for this part, I am asking Tari Bradford, along with the regional director, to come on down and introduce your women. Listen, because I don't want to get the order incorrect, okay? But thank you all so much for embracing our city.
Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the council, Mr. Mayor, all assembled, I am Tari T. Bradford. In the paid job, I'm Chief of Staff of Mayor Arsenault. But right now, I'm a constituent. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
All right.
Former South Central Regional Director. There was only 2 of us to serve from this great city, Dorothy Johnson, who's deceased, and myself. I would like to introduce you to our South Central Regional Director, Dr. Sean Simmons, who hailed from the great state, sometimes of Texas, by way of Houston, but she has long, long roots in Louisiana. So, Dr. Simmons.
Yes, thank you. Look, Lincoln Parish to be exact. I was born in Baton Rouge, but my maternal side of the family is from Lincoln Parish. So, well, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the council for this recognition on behalf of our sisterhood. Mr. Mayor, it's always good to see you, and thank you for your continued support with this conference. Let me say the city of Shreveport has been a great partner. You all have rolled it out for us. From the first invitation to come to the city from the mayor and the Tourist Bureau to working with the convention center, let me just say how grateful I am for you all. I saw where Ms. Bradford went live on TV as the workers were cleaning, and please let the property standards team know how much we appreciate their effort in making the city clean. And it's nothing like having your house clean for guests.
Yes.
And we are here. About 6,000 of us will show up. Madam Chair, we have the 2 casino hotels in your district full.
I know that's right.
Councilman Brooks, we are ready to hit everything in District B, from the Hilton to the Convention Center, restaurants, shops downtown, to include the Red River District.
Yes.
Vice Chair Bowman, Pines Road hotels are full.
Thank you.
And Councilman Green, many of our members will arrive at the Shreveport Airport in your district. Councilman Jackson, Taliaferro, and Butcher, we have, and others will Google, all that is to know about Line Avenue, Uri Drive, East 70th Street, and all the eateries and shops in between and in the area. I want to personally thank you all and for everything that you all have done to make this possible. And I want to invite you to attend the public meeting that's going to be held on Thursday. It'll start at 6:30, but we want you there early, on time, 6 o'clock, where we will recognize our partnership together and showcase what we have been able to accomplish and what we will be doing in this region. And I can't think of a better way to end Women's History Month by having the city filled with professional women, ladies who are coming to serve and make an impact.
Amen.
And don't forget, we wear pink, but we spin green.
I know that's right.
Madam Chair, I do want to recognize the chairman of the planning committee, and she is here. We want her to say a few words, and then also recognize all the ladies locally who have worked so hard to make sure that this conference comes off without a hitch.
And after they finish, we definitely want to make sure that we read your resolution into the record, because we don't want to get beat up by Tory.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, Candace.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Dr. Candace Webert, and it was an honor to serve as the 94th South Central Regional Conference General Chairman. A year ago, I traveled to Little Rock, and I invited over 4,000, it was just a crowd right at 4,000, women to Shreveport, and I promised them that they were going to come to a city they won't forget.
Yes, Lord.
I would like to thank the council. I would like to thank the mayor and his staff. Everything that my team of 91 women have asked for or needed, the supports have been there without question. Once again, the success of this conference is thanks to each of you and your support. And Mr. Mayor, I hope that you are pleased with the outcome of our work. And anytime you need me, feel free to give me a call. I'm open to other opportunities. Thank you.
Ladies, you all stand.
Please stand.
No, you can't leave yet. Can't leave yet. Madam Clerk, will you please read the resolution into the record?
A resolution recognizing the 94th South Central Regional Conference of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Whereas Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, founded in 1908 at Howard University, is the oldest Greek letter organization established by African American college-educated women, with over 390,000 members and more than 1,115 chapters across 15 nations and territories. Whereas the sorority was founded on a mission of 5 basic tenets, which have maintained unchanged since its inception: to cultivate and encourage high scholastic and ethical standards, to promote unity and friendship among college women, to study and help alleviate problems concerning girls and women in order to improve their social stature, to maintain a progressive interest in college life, and to be service to all mankind. Whereas Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is led internationally by President and CEO Danita Anthony Reed, and South Central Region, established in 1924, comprises more than 19,000 members across Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, and New Mexico, under the leadership of Dr. Sean Emerson Simmons, the 27th South Central Regional Director. Whereas members of the South Central Region will gather in Shreveport, Louisiana, from March 26 to 29, 2026, for the 94th South Central Regional Conference theme, The Real Deal, betting on service with sisterhood, featuring inspiring workshops, meaningful sisterly exchange, opportunities to celebrate collective achievements, and activities that allow members to reconnect, recharge, and recommit to their mission of service and leadership. Whereas with over 6,000 registered attendees and thousands of social delegates, the members of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated will paint the city pink and green, generating significant economic impact and community engagement. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Shreveport in regular session convened that it does hereby recognizes and welcome the 94th South Central Regional Conference of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated to the city.
Amen. Y'all, I'm trying to find out who I gave your resolution to. I think I gave it to one of the guys. But we want to come down and make sure that we take a picture with you all, us and the council and the mayor, please.
Thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming to Street Thing. You're welcome. You want to sit it down? You want them to turn this way? Okay. And you all turn this way. Oh, okay, sure. Turn this way. Sorority. Yeah, he wants.
So good to stand beside somebody I'm taller than.
That's a whole mess.
Make sure you get the tall people. Oh, Lord, you got it? Get it right there. You got it up here? All right.
Yeah, got it. One more.
One more.
One more KTAL.
Hey, right here.
We got the mayor. We got.
Right here. No.
Oh, we got. We got Channel 6. They want some love.
Give him a good side, bro.
Now we all turn this way.
So now we have to go RJ, okay, because he is going to.
Thank you so much. So, Chance McNeely, if y'all want to go, yeah, you can. See you later.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll get you all the video. Cause welcome back.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Chairwoman and members of the council, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to come before you all today to talk about and provide an update on the status so far of the Louisiana legislative session. As you all likely know, it recently started a couple of weeks ago, and this year is a long session that goes into, concludes in the beginning of June. And so at this point in time, the session has been a little slow. We'll see bills really pick up and action kind of move more swiftly after Easter, which is customary for a longer session like this. So I have a report here for you. Just keep in mind that bills are still being filed, and they will be filed until next Tuesday. So I'll make a supplement to this that includes additional bills that were filed as well, that I'll share with the city. And in the past, I know I've come before you all either after session or at the end. We don't have positions on bills at this time for the city. I wanted to come early and kind of put this stuff on your radar.
Okay.
Again, because most bills are not going to move much until after Easter.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am. So, on the first page, what I did is I put all the information about capital outlay. So HB2 is the construction budget for the state, and I listed the projects that appear in that bill that are to the city of Shreveport. Those are listed here. This is in the initial version of the bill. So what typically will happen, or what will happen, is the House Ways and Means Committee will mark that bill up, and then it will go to appropriations. There's two amendment opportunities in committee where these projects could be plussed up or other projects could be added, and then it goes to the House floor for further action. Sometime in May, the Senate will take up the money bills, and we expect there'll be a surplus of some nature that gets recognized at that point, where at that time the city could receive additional funds for projects as well. So we've got kind of a multi-month process here of trying to go through and secure funds. I would encourage each of you to talk to your legislators about the submissions that were made. and advocate for projects that you have in your districts that you'd like to see proceed. Are there any questions about the original version of the bill relative to what's in the report?
James Green, you have any questions for Mr. McNeely?
Okay. And I did go ahead and list other entities other than the city that have money in the bill as well. So as an example, state office buildings, LSUS, LSU Med School, the port, projects of that nature, just for your awareness to see what all, the governor put in his original version of the bill.
Have you seen anything in the bills that are listed that are critical to Shreveport or Caddo Parish that we should be aware of? Do you have any, Mr. Mayor, that are concern to you?
Well, I mean, I don't know that I'm well suited to decide which projects are the most critical for the city, but I know that last year a late capital outlay request came in from the city because Senator Jenkins, Senator Bass, and Senator Presley asked the city to do it for the airport expansion, and y'all received some cash last year for that. That is here. That cash is still with the city, but I know that there's a desire to have additional funds put in there this year. So like right now they have P5, so we would want to get, P5 is not real money, so we would want to get some additional funds there this year. I know that's a priority for people in economic development and for the SkyWest facility and stuff like that. So, I mean, I guess the answer is there are constituencies for every project. As far as it'd be my objective to get as much funds as we can for any of the projects that were submitted.
Madam Chair.
Okay.
Certainly the legislators also have opinions about which projects are most important to them.
Chance, on the Senate Bill 170, explain that to me.
So Senate Bill 170 by Senator Presley does two things. First of all, it deals with the port of Caddo-Bossier, and it basically establishes certain qualification requirements to be eligible to serve on the port board, and then it makes those appointments subject to the state Senate confirmation.
Wow.
So that is a bill that he filed. So I'm flagging that for y'all's awareness.
Okay.
Mr. Chance, on that bill, is that only for Caddo, or is it for other ports as far as New Orleans port, Baton Rouge, or is it just Caddo?
I believe it's a local bill, which would mean it's just about you guys, but I will verify that.
It says commissions of the Caddo-Bossier Port.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me look at the actual text to make sure that I give you the correct information.
Okay. Councilman Green?
Yes, it is. It's limited to the Caddo-Bossier Port Commission.
Okay. Councilman Green?
Yes. Would you explain Bill 674?
Yes. So Representative Tammy Phelps has filed this bill. And as you all are likely aware, for different economic development projects that are coming to the state, and this bill is not unique to Shreveport-Bossier, it's a statewide bill. But it's very common for the potential company to sign a non-disclosure agreement with the state economic development agency. And it's also somewhat common for council members to sign an NDA, legislators to sign. What this bill aims to do is give the state legislator whose district it's in a much more robust involvement in the negotiations that take place between the state and or the local, like if the locals are doing a pilot, right? Like the state legislator whose district it's in would have a seat at the table in those conversations.
So how does that empower local?
Well, I would say it empowers the state legislator whose district it's in.
But nothing for local.
Well, if let me ask this on this question of what Councilman Green is asking. What Councilman Green is asking is that it appears that takes away our local power and entrusting us to be able to make decisions. Because I would think that we don't report to the state and that we are all elected. We are elected by the people. So when we make decisions, then the mayor brings an economic development project, then are you not trusting the wherewithal of this body, which is a question that I posed to her? Because it is if that you are stepping on or impeding our powers of what the people elected us for to be able to do. Because I would think at the same time that the department, that Louisiana Economic Development, if it's some huge project, that they would share with their legislature what is coming in their district. Because that sounds like then it's the responsibility of the mayor or this council to ask you, or provide you what is happening. Now, as professional courtesy, we like to talk. I talk to my legislator and say, hey, this is what we have coming into our district. I think that's a matter of professional courtesy and respect at that point to give you that level of awareness. But I also feel at this point that if I have to tell you what I'm doing at the local level, then you should tell us what you're doing at the state level, and I don't need to hear from you. You see what I'm saying? I need for that to be clear on that part, because it is if you are stepping on our powers to be able to fully execute our job. Is that every economic development project, or is that just the ones that just affect the local? Should I tell you when a gas station coming? And I'm just asking those questions because it can be, and I'm not actually being funny, but it could be just that simplistic of what it is that I'm mandated to tell you, because that sounds like a mandate if you are turning this into a law. Am I off course, Mayor Arsenault?
No, ma'am.
Madam Chair.
Also,
Go ahead.
also, it's kind of like, for instance, the data center that came. It started in the state, but until it got to be a real situation, we had no knowledge of it unless we read the bill that they was giving the critics and all of that. So nobody from the state contacted us to say, okay, this is what we're doing, and will y'all buy into it or whatever. They just did it, and then when it came to us, of course, we had to bite most of the bullet. People still talk about us, but nobody shared the information with us. It was just bam, on our step. So my question would be, if in fact you want that to happen one way, let it be a two-way street. Before you send something to the state or approve something to come to the state, come to us and see if we want it. See if it's gonna, what kind of backlash will it cause us? So not just to approve it there, and then when it comes here, nobody from there comes up here to stand at that podium to say that it started with us.
Correct. Right.
Nobody showed up to say it started with us. Right. We took all the fire, we still taking all the heat about the us, but it's gonna benefit the state, it's gonna benefit the city. So I just think it ought to be a two-way street. Right.
Yes, sir. There will be, and there is a good amount of opposition to this bill from a variety of different entities. The economic development community in the state is opposed to these types of bills. Local government generally would oppose bills like this. So for the reasons that y'all are talking about.
I actually thought this bill was pooled.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
She may not intend to run it, but it is still, I mean, it's still, it has not been.
In my opinion, it's not pooled.
Right.
Because that means anybody else can bring it up.
Right.
Okay, hold on one
I mean, I
second.
think for the record, the city has enough business to take care of, and the state has enough business they need to take care of.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to tend to their business, because we have a lot of state issues that fall on the city. As far as the city, we have issues as well, but I feel like the city needs to take care of their business and the state needs to take care of their business.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So that's what I would like for you to advocate when you go there.
So here's my take on it. I think economic development should be a holistic approach that includes both the state, parish, and the city, depending on where it's at. But I think that if it's something in the city limits of Shreveport, I think that Mr. Sabo, under the administration of the mayor, should be where this starts, and then NLEP or whoever else, and then bring the state in. But I don't think that necessarily we need to be running to the state every time we have something. I think a lot of it stems from maybe them not knowing about certain meetings that were going on or announcements or something like that. But I feel very strongly, and Senator Presley's a friend of mine, and I respect, but I feel very strongly about that as well. If you're taking the appointment away, the mayor appoints. How many do you appoint to the port, Mayor? 2 or 3?
It's either 2 or 3. I don't recall.
So the mayor appoints some, the parish commission appoints some, Bossier Parish, Bossier City. That is taking that out of local, I think. It actually kind of circumvents, I don't want to say authority, but our involvement as a council in that, and says, you're not good enough to approve this person. We're going to have to make them go through a Senate confirmation. So I strongly oppose both of these bills. And I just heard about Senator Presley's about 2 or 3 days ago. I did know about Representative Phelps, and I strongly disagree with it as well, because what we need to be doing is working all together. But I think that economic development for Shreveport has never come from south of Alexandria.
No.
And it needs to be the mayor, the city council, the parish commission. That's who needs to be working on this up front. And I think just going to get a rubber stamp from a representative, of course, like Councilwoman Taylor said, if we have something big coming here, we need to let them know what's going on. But we need help with our infrastructure. We need help with our water and sewage. We need all that. We don't need them micromanaging what we're doing at a local level.
We need a fence out at the fairground.
Councilman
I do know
Brooks.
about that. I've had several people talk to me about that.
Yes.
Yep.
Councilman.
Hey, Chance,
Yes.
I agree with what Councilman Butcher said, but I have a simple question on House Bill 674. How does this benefit the city?
How does it benefit the city?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I would say it does benefit the city.
There's no
Okay,
benefit.
that's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah. And point of clarification, Councilman Butcher, because I just looked at the Presley bill, just to clarify, it doesn't take away the city's appointment authority. What it does do specifically is it makes them subject to Senate confirmation, which is unusual, right?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Right.
it's subject to council.
But, right, and then the other thing it does, just for your awareness, is it says that the mayor must pick people who have a economic development, transportation, logistics, or commercial real estate background. So it does 2 things.
But that takes the authority from the mayor who's been doing it, and I think we've got a very robust port. There's nothing wrong with the port of Shreveport Bossier, and it's been working like that. And I know you're just a messenger. I'm not. I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense to me to take that authority away from the mayor, and we're going to send it to Baton Rouge for people that are south of Alexandria making decisions about who goes to our port.
Well, and as you can see through the various McCormick bills, there's certainly at least a few legislators who are unhappy with the way the things that are going on at the port, based on the bills that were filed.
Well, if you drive down to South Shreveport, I think about 50% of what's going on down there is because of production that's going on at the port. So I would strongly disagree with that. But
Councilman Green.
Yeah. So we've talked about it for however long. Well, what does it? We tore the stadium down. Fairgrounds looking nice. It's in Councilwoman Bowman's district. But what does it take for us to get a fence? Because when visitors come into our city, it's like a gateway. But that old fence been there. I mean, what does it take?
So, assuming that the fence is in DOTD right away, and I think that it is, they would have to permit a fence, and somebody would have to pay for the fence. That somebody could be any number of folks. It could be a state-funded fence. It could be a philanthropically funded fence. I do know that I've recently had conversations with y'all's Committee of 100, who is trying to figure out how to resolve this issue and find a funding source for it. And in fact, I know they're in talks with DOT trying to figure out how to address it. And I believe they may be even meeting with them like next week to talk about it. So there are efforts underway to try to do that. So I can definitely keep you all updated on what I hear with that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I know that we have some capital outlay projects that we submitted for our districts that are still priority 5. Do you know how aggressive our legislators are on those projects that represent both of our districts?
So are you referring to the late file, because I know.
No, I'm actually looking at those that are priority 5. One of the things that was asked for University Park subdivision improvements. We looked at some other, I don't see them on here, but I looked at some other things for Allendale as well. Just some of those particular projects that are priority 5, which means they're just out there, really.
Yep.
There's no real movement on it. And so do we see anything that is specific to our respective districts? I know that we asked for, such as improved lighting and things of that particular magnitude that we have there. Because when we look at this, we look at having a cohesive relationship, a collaboration with our state officials as well as our federal officials, because you're representing the same area. So my constituents are your constituents as well. And I don't want us to be in a position where we're constrained. I'm not looking for the mayor to be constrained about the decisions that he made. You already have to deal with us on the council. You don't need to deal with 50 million other people too. When you agree, Mr. Mayor, you already deal with us. We enough. He don't have to say it, I said it.
Well, the one thing too about these, that the late filings, did we get the Southern Loop and I-49 lighting in that?
So the benefit of filing, even a late filing, is that it receives an eCourts number. It's a project that's put into the state system, and so whether it shows up in the governor's original version of the bill or not, it's still there to, if the legislature sees fit to fund it, they can.
I think I'm asking more of Mr. Morgan and
Capital outlay projects that we turned in.
yeah. Do we know if the Southern Loop lighting got put in that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, it has.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, one of the things that y'all need to be aware of is one of the ways that we've had the best luck getting funding is, as Chance noted, there is a likely state surplus.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a supplemental appropriations bill put together. We have been somewhat successful in getting some projects like the ones y'all submitted. Depending on which legislator is interested in them, we quite seldom don't get the amount of money in full we ask for, but we've had a lot better luck getting that. The capital outlay money so often gets stuck in P5 and never moves, as you well know, for University Park. So.
Supplemental appropriations are much easier to secure and spend, and and the reason is because the capital outlay funding it's bonds. And so it deals with the state's debt capacity and all these different things. And so if you are able to secure funds through this other bill called the Supplemental Appropriations Bill, it does make life easier. And we, as Mr. Dark said, we try to do that every year. That typically, we don't know how that's going to go until the end of session, typically.
So I would ask of the administration, just for future, when it's time for those capital outlay requests to come, we all send the council notification, so we'll be able to discuss what specific things that we're looking at, regarding our districts, and to make sure that we're on the same page when we do that. Okay. You have anything else?
Just that I'll have a supplement to this, to this submission that I can share. I'd say I'll probably have it done before Easter.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, Tuesday is the last day. There are also a couple bills that I accidentally omitted on here that I just wanted to mention. Senator Jenkins has a bill that makes some changes to the Downtown Development Authority.
Is it under the same auspices as we're seeing?
Let's see, SB 78. So SB 78 by Jenkins It appears to add one member to the board who has a background in urban planning, land use planning, commercial real estate development. That's all it does. It adds a member who has that type of background.
Okay.
No Senate confirmation. And then,
Urban planning is good.
I'm sorry.
Urban planning is good.
And then I do see a bill by, that I meant to mention also, Senator Seaball. Senator Seaball has a bill that replaces swaps out a downtown development district member from District 37 to District 38, which I would assume would be giving his district an appointee on the board.
Is 37, who's this 37? Is that the old?
I don't think it exists anymore. That was.
Yeah, is that the old
Peacock's.
Peacock district?
Or it could be a technical cleanup bill too,
Yeah,
because the
I bet
districts
that's
got
it.
moved around.
Because 38 now took Peacock's spot.
place.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but we'll scrub through all 2,000 bills that get filed, and we'll make another submission to you all. And happy to discuss as we go through the session. Happy to communicate, and hope we have ultimately get as much state funding as we can for Shreveport.
Most definitely. If we need to come and speak to committee, then let us know.
What I'd like to do, I will, and what I'd like to do as well is, I know Caddo Day is coming up this year, and I know that was really productive last year.
Right.
So we'll make sure that as we approach that, we really have clarity for everyone who comes to make sure that they know what to advocate for as
Please
well.
let us know plenty
What
of
is
time.
that, April?
When that date's going to be.
Is that April 7th?
April 15th and 16th.
April 15th through.
Oh, great day.
Man, I won't be here.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Nice to be with you all. Thank you, and we'll talk again
Okay.
soon.
Just let us know when you need to come back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Arsenault, do you have any awards, recognition, or distinguished guests not to exceed 15 minutes?
Madam Chair, only to let you know that two of the people that are before you for confirmation are present. One of them was here before, Linda Bernanke to the Airport Authority, but Renee Carr, who was unable to be here a couple of weeks ago,
Okay.
is here. She is an appointee. You stand up, Ms. Carr.
Hi, Ms. Carr.
She's an appointee to the Personnel Board.
Okay. Do you have any communications of the mayor relative to city business?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Does any member have any, should I ask this question since they in training? Have any concerns for property standards? I don't think you have any. Okay. Mr. Jean provided a master plan committee report on yesterday. Everyone should have received a budget to actual financial report. Yesterday, public hearing, there is none. Madam Clerk, will there be any legislation to be added today?
No, ma'am.
Today, we're here, public comments on agenda items only. You have 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and address for the record, and Madam Vice Chair would take control of this part of the agenda.
First one is Sammy Mears.
So, Sammy, you are honorary basketball player today, huh?
Yes, and I also found something that was lost and found.
Okay.
Thank you. Sammy Mears, 1133 South Point Parkway, apartment 111, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71105. Today I'm speaking on 3 resolutions, 928, 929, and 930. I would like for April 2026 to be recognized as Autism Acceptance Month. Please vote yes on this resolution. I also want the Green Oaks High School boys basketball team that I was sitting with earlier as an honorary member for their historic season to be recognized just as well. Please vote yes on this if you would, please. It would be appreciated. And finally, I'd like for the 94th South Central Regional Conference of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated to be recognized as well. They did a good job today. These people all deserve to be recognized, and I'd like for all of these to be voted on yes. It'll be appreciated. And the one thing I know is not on there, but I must say this. I celebrate 41 years as a church member at Springs of Grace Baptist Church on St. Patrick's Day of last week.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you.
Ashley David.
Good afternoon, Councilman.
Good afternoon.
I filed an appeal 2 weeks ago to
Ms.
attempt to
David?
reverse.
I need your name and address for the
Oh,
record.
I'm sorry, Ashley David, 126 Centenary Circle, South Highlands. I filed an appeal 2 weeks ago to reverse the MPC's granting of a special use permit for Southern Stock Market to be located at 3100 Highland Avenue. My appeal is in part supported by the passing of Ordinance 46 of 2025 on June 10th. This ordinance added 2 subparagraphs to the Shreveport UDC, Section 6.1 JJ, in regards to beer and wine sales. They are, will this location be compatible with the residentially zoned property near the proposed location? And 2, the proximity to the other establishments that sell alcohol. Compatibility is defined in the Oxford Dictionary, as a state in which 2 things are able to exist or occur together without problems or conflict. I can assure you there are serious compatibility issues with an establishment selling any type of alcoholic beverages that is located only feet from residential properties, much less a block or 2 from 2 Caddo Parish schools. The mere existence causes petty crime, drug sales, littering, property crimes, crimes related to alcohol misuse, and vagrancy. This list is certainly not all-inclusive of many other issues that these establishments contribute to our neighborhoods and sense of safety. I have yet to find one piece of research that indicates placing such an establishment next to neighborhoods will do anything to affect positive change in the neighboring residents and property value. The proximity clause must and should be considered according to the new ordinance. In this specific area encompassing the 300, 400, and 500 blocks of Kings Highway, there are already 3 establishments in which to purchase beer and wine. In addition, the Highland Liquor Store, which was granted a special use permit by the MPC in 2019 to sell all types of alcohol, including beer and wine. We all know the population of Shreveport as a whole is shrinking. We've not had an influx of residents moving into Highland or South Highlands area in the last 15 to 20 years. On the contrary, a number of homes in Highland that existed only 10 to 15 years ago are now burned to the ground in complete disrepair or have been taken over by squatters. What a shame. We can do better as a city and a community. Our area of Shreveport is historical in nature and a natural route for many that visit our area. What they see may have them believing the city is given up when they travel down Kings Highway. Property standards are not enforced, our police are overworked, understaffed, and not to mention woefully underpaid. Why would our governing body that is tasked with planning and zoning actively choose to add another establishment that will undoubtedly strain the resources we have in our area? The decisions that they make should protect the safety and sense of peace that we deserve and the school children attending Cresswell and Byrd deserve. Gas stations by nature have many environmental concerns that must be considered. Underground tanks leaking and airborne toxins that have well been scientifically proven to cause many negative health
Ms.
effects,
David,
including...
I apologize, but your time has expired.
Okay.
Yes.
Will she have another? Will she have another opportunity during the appeal to speak?
Yes.
She can.
We'll just,
Sit down, keep going.
if you'll come back, we get,
Okay, that's fine. I only have another paragraph at most.
but then you can elaborate
On it.
during
Right
the
then.
during the appeal.
Okay, got it. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Miss Andy Abilly?
Esteemed members of the City Council, greetings. My name is Dr. Andia Augustin Billy. I am a professor at Centenary College. My address is 521 Atkins Avenue, and I live about 30.7 feet from the proposed site with my husband, who is an attorney, and our 2 young boys, ages 9 and 6. I want to start by noting that several neighbors who oppose this project were not able to speak the last time, including me. I was out of town for a conference. I'm out of breath. I am here to respectfully but firmly oppose the development of a gas station with a alcohol store at this location. I speak not only as a resident, but as a parent, a professional, and somebody who loves to walk, and I walk this neighborhood daily. The reality is that this project is not compatible with a residential area, and the proposal is also unnecessary. There are already 2 gas stations within like less than a mile, and high school and college. And the community does not need another one. This is not a matter of convenience. It's over concentration, and it comes at the expense of those of us who live here. Also, the environmental and quality of life is significant. Bright lights, noise, constant activity would disrupt the peaceful character of our streets. Family who lived here deserve to enjoy their homes without feeling that every day brings more risk and more stress. I also want to address the process in itself. I'm not sure how you all come to your decisions, but I'm frustrated and frankly angry at the fact that we're having to fight this. The developer lives in Texas, from what I understood, not in Louisiana, and yet his interests seem to be placed above the voices of the families and community members who will bear the consequences. So it's a matter of fairness and respect for the people who live here. Zoning decisions should protect the safety, stability, and well-being of our neighborhoods. They should not be influenced by convenience for commercial developers, especially those who have no stake in our community beyond profit. So this project, in my view, fails that standard. For all these reasons, the risk, the safety, the environmental and quality of life impacts, the over-concentration of similar businesses, and frankly, the harm to property values, I urge you to please go back to your previous decision and sustain that decision. Thank you so much for your time and careful consideration. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, this concludes public comments.
We have the following executive appointments to consider today. Personnel, Human Resources Board, William Childs and Renee Carr. Shreveport Airport Authority, Linda Bernanke.
So
Have
moved.
a motion?
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Madam Vice Chair. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Congratulations, and thank you for your service to the city of Shreveport. There are no items under consent agenda for introduction or to be adopted. Madam Clerk, please proceed to regular agenda legislation.
Resolution 15, recognizing Mariah Dawn Hester. And there's a request for this to be postponed.
So move for postponement.
Second.
So move for postponement by the chair, second by Madam Vice Chair. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Resolution 23, authorizing the adoption of the City of Shreveport Sport Train updated public transportation agency safety plan.
So moved by Councilman Green, second by Councilman Brooks. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Resolution 24, authorizing the mayor to execute an energy state agreement between the City of Shreveport and the Department of Transportation and Development.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Talaferro. Second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Resolution 25, giving City Council approval for the mayor to pay premiums and execute documents in connection with the purchase of insurance for city buildings, facilities, and activities for the period beginning April 1st, 2026. There is one amendment. This amendment contains the updated negotiated prices for the city's insurance coverage beginning April 1st, 2026. The total has been reduced by approximately $413,600 from what it contained in the original resolution.
Said it's been reduced?
Yes.
Okay.
So moved on the amendment.
So moved on the amendment by Councilman Jackson, second by Councilman Talaferro. Is there any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
So move on the motion as amended by Councilman Jackson, second by Councilman Butcher. Any discussion? Let's vote.
Okay, this passes with 7.
Resolution 26, authorizing the mayor of the city of Shreveport to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between the city of Shreveport and the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Department to operate a comprehensive domestic violence service center.
Move to withdraw.
Move to withdraw by Councilman Butcher. Second by Councilman Brooks. Discussion. Actually, I have a statement from the sheriff. He simply stated that he appreciated the council's interest in helping to strengthen services for victims in our community affected by domestic violence. At this time, however, the sheriff's office will continue moving forward with this original plan for the domestic violence unit without financial assistance from the city of Shreveport. And while we are dealing with our findings, our commitment to collaboration remains the same. We will continue working closely with the SPD and all regional law enforcement partners to support public safety and to ensure victims of domestic violence receive the protection and the services that they deserve. Will all those that were in support of this please stand for domestic violence? Thank you so much for your presence and attendance today in the Shreveport Council meeting, but this item has been withdrawn. Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Resolution 27, authorizing the city of Shreveport, Louisiana purchasing agent to reject all bids received for Stoner Avenue rehabilitation, rebid IFB 26002.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Councilman Talaferro. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Dark, was this the bridge that came in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all.
Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Resolution 28, recognizing April 2026 as Autism Acceptance Month.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by the chair, second by Councilman Green. Discussion, I actually want to invite all of you out to the bridge on April 2nd at 7:15. Is an event hosted by myself and the Big Cheese. If you don't know who the Big Cheese is, that is my son. That we will be lighting up the Bukowski Bridge of Lights blue. It is a fun event that is free to the public, but it's not oftentimes that many autism families have the opportunity to be out without judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. So we ask you to wear your fabulous shirts, however it is that you design it for your loved one, and come on up, out. And so we have some little cheerleaders to go and do a little cheer. And then at that point, then we will watch the bridge light up blue for World Autism Day.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
will you have the water, the fountains going?
The fountains don't start until May 1st.
Because I wanted
So
to-
that means you want to run through the water
No,
with
I
me?
wanted to challenge Councilman Brooks to come and be with me in the water.
We can do that May 1st. Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'm a little off balance. This is the first time in history of the council that I know of that Mr. Craig Lee didn't have any public comments. I'm a little,
Amen.
I'm a
We're
little off balance.
flustered.
I don't know. You know, that's classic. Thank you.
Resolution 29, recognizing the Green Oaks High School boys basketball team for its historic season.
Yay. So moved by the chair, second by Councilman Jackson. Thank you all so much for the support of Green Oaks today. It's been really exhilarating. So moved. Any more discussion? I think not. Let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Resolution 30, recognizing the 94th South Central Regional Conference of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
So move. I think Tari probably
Second.
want to move on this from the audience.
Uh-huh.
So moved by the chair. Second, we got your vote. Second by Councilman Green. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Madam Clerk, would you proceed with the introduction of resolutions not to be adopted prior to April 14, 2026?
Resolution 31, authorizing the donation of the Shreveport Police surplus properties, specifically retiring 1 police K-9. Resolution 32, authorizing the mayor of Shreveport to execute an amended cooperative endeavor agreement with the Shreveport Implementation and Redevelopment Authority. Resolution 33, authorizing the mayor to execute a letter of agreement with SMG to extend and amend the management agreements for the Shreveport Convention Center and the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium. And Resolution 34, ordering and calling a special election to be held in the city of Shreveport, state of Louisiana, to authorize the levy of a special tax in the Downtown Development District, making application to the State Bond Commission in connection therewith.
So move on introduction.
Second.
So move on introduction by the chair, second by Councilman Butcher. Madam Clerk, would you proceed with introductions of ordinances not to be adopted prior to April 14, 2026?
You want to do it now? Ordinance 32, amending Chapter 26 of the Shreveport Code of Ordinances, authorizing the conversion of adjudicated property to tax lien certificates pursuant to LA Revised Statute 47:2201, authorizing donations to land banking and redevelopment authorities, providing procedures for the city of Shreveport.
So move on the introduction.
Second.
So move introduction by Councilman Green, second by Councilman Butcher. These
Discussion.
items.
Just
no
real quick.
discussion. Okay.
Mr. Edwards, is this pertaining to the change of the law as far as you don't have a tax sale deed anymore? You have a, is that what this is?
That's what it's pertaining to, yes. And the prior adjudication process is still sort of valid in terms of the properties that were already adjudicated. But going forward, there will be a process starting, it's for property from the 2026 tax year, which will not be until it won't be active until 2027.
Right, because of the statutory time.
Right. But it allows for tax sale certificates, tax lien certificates, instead of the tax adjudication, which should allow for more marketable, more insurable, cleaner title on the back end is the process. But that's what it pertains to.
Okay, so this, at some point, I would like for us to have a discussion about getting these adjudicated properties back in on the tax rolls, and maybe this helps us. I know the mayor and I have discussed self-funded title insurance for quite a while. I know Sarah's doing some things, but I just think that there's a lot of opportunities out there for a lot of vacant properties right now that have been adjudicated that could really there would be investors that would want to come in and redevelop these properties into middle income and housing for homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the gentleman that came yesterday was talking about affordable housing, and I disagree with pretty much everything else he said, but I did agree with that. So we do need to start looking at that.
And I think it's been a long discussion that we've had as it relates to this, and so now we do want to make sure that we have some movement for sure on it. I know it's been a plan. I know it's been overwhelmingly discussed, and so I just want to make sure that we have a plan of execution on that to get that done in each neighborhood that needed. Because the purpose for us has always been that when a house is torn down in its dilapidated state, then we revitalize that area by building new housing there so we can bring that property back into commerce. It's not just to leave the lot empty. We want you to actually be able to purchase that lot and rebuild on it. So that is how we actually improve on neighborhoods. And so we want to make sure that houses are attainable for individuals to be able to purchase.
I would like to see us do, Chairman Taylor, similar to what we did with the domestic violence, and possibly have a roundtable of some sort, Mayor, to discuss with Sarah and bring everybody together at the, to the table. Of course, we'd notice it, Mr. Edwards, we'd all be there. I think that would be a good start. I think that it was very productive in the domestic violence realm. There were a lot of things that people learned. So I would like to see us try to set something up like that, whether it be the administration or the council. But in the next few months, let's have a roundtable and discuss this.
Yeah, we can do that, and then we'll have another domestic violence follow-up for sure.
Thank you.
Okay. So these items have been introduced. If there is no more discussion, Madam Clerk, please proceed with ordinances on second reading and final passage.
Ordinance 11, amending the 2026 Public Safety Special Revenue Fund budget.
Move to withdraw.
Second.
Order withdrawal by Councilman Butcher, second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair.
Councilman Butcher.
I don't want people to think that the city of Shreveport is done with domestic violence. I think the plan that was put together by the sheriff was a very good plan. And I unfortunately think that outside forces got involved, and it's just a shame because we have so many victims of domestic violence in our city. We have, a huge human trafficking issue. We have a huge sexual assault issue. If you look at our crimes, those are the things that are going up. I think this plan was comprehensive and good for the citizens. I just think that we can't let this stop here.
Correct.
Madam Chair, we have to continue to look forward and look at ways to go. And whether that's in a public safety meeting or the mayor presenting us a plan, which I would love to see what your plan is. I had a long conversation today with Ms. Harris, the director of Project Celebration. There's some issues there. She acknowledged those issues. But I'm not ready to give up on them. And I want to make that public to them and to their employees. They do good work. They just have a few hiccups. But I'm going to be honest with you. Who in today's time are not having hiccups as far as finances go? We're, a gallon of milk is $6 a gallon now in some places. Gas is $4 a gallon. I mean, we all have issues, and we should be working through them. But the work that they do and have done, filling a void for many, many years, is good work. And we can always improve on that. I think that at some point we really need to sit down and revisit this with Sheriff Whitehorn. He took the ball and ran with it when a lot of us were just running around not knowing what we were going to do. And to his kudos, he and his staff stepped up, came up with a plan, and was ready to execute it. And I thank him. I thank Chairwoman Taylor and Councilman Talaferro for working so hard on this. And it's very sad to me that we're at a place now where we've pulled this piece of legislation. So I'm tasking the rest of the council, along with the mayor and everybody else involved in Shreveport, the police chief. Let's come up with something that we all can agree on. Let's come up with something because, tonight I hate to check my email at 2 o'clock to see that a woman lost her life to domestic violence, because we're going to see it. All 7 of us sitting up here, the mayor, CAO, and the police chief. It's sometime in the next month, we are going to see a death from domestic violence in the city of Shreveport. Mm-hmm. And so time is of the essence on this. So whatever everybody wants to do, I'm here. I'll listen. I'll do whatever. We'll fund. We'll sit back. We won't fund. Whatever we want to, whatever we can do to get it. But let's do it right this time. Involve Project Celebration, North Shreveport Business Association, sororities like that we're here today. Let's involve everybody in the community and get this problem fixed, because another life is going to be lost in the city of Shreveport. And I pray for that. Pray for their souls.
Green.
Madam Chair, I just like, I'm not doing this on behalf of the council. I'm not doing this on behalf of the city of Shreveport. I'm doing it on my behalf. I'd like to just apologize to Sheriff Whitehorn that It's in the scripture that when I would do good, sometimes evil is present. But I also would like to define service as not caring who gets the credit.
Correct.
And sometimes we live in a world that it's okay if I do it or if I get the credit. Do for people what you want to do because it is right, not expecting anything in return. Not even expecting them to say thank you because you never know where they are in their life. But you do it because you care, you love, and you're a servant. So thank you, Mr. Whitehorn, for your effort. I apologize that there are people that beat up on you for taking it, or wanting to take it, or having a desire to do good. But always know they killed Jesus. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I will add this. Since 1997, Louisiana has been one of the top 5 states that are affected by domestic violence. And as you sit in this chamber right now, you probably know somebody who has. That African American women are 35% more likely to be in a domestic abuse situation, and majority of the time, those are the ladies that are killed. Those with disabilities, 70% of those individuals are often affected by abuse and sexual assault. And if you're a woman with a disability, then your chances are 3 times higher. I think when you lose sight of the victims and take your mind off of who it is, but you lose sight of the victim, then you don't understand that particular world that these individuals have to go in. This was so hard that it did not have to be this hard. Because as we sit in this chamber, there is a woman or a child that is being beaten or sexually assaulted right now as we sit. And that's the reality that we live in. And all we wanted to do was to make sure and to ensure that services were in place under one roof for 1 year until we got our stuff together. And our stuff is still not together. So I'm in full support of the sheriff. I agree with you, Councilman Butcher, that you can pull everyone together, but the focus has to be on the victim. Absolutely. Thank God it's somebody thinking about this on their heart and wanting to do this. But when you hear, because you won't get these messages that we get to know we arrested 10 people, or that there were 10 people that were affected by sexual assault or domestic violence, because you may be in a safe place and then maybe, again, you're not. But as we see here, that I will be in full support of the sheriff until we get our stuff together. I don't believe in sending people places and it is not together. Not as serious as an issue as domestic violence when people die. It's the most dangerous situation for our first responders to enter into. Because here you have somebody that simply say they are loving somebody to death. And we want to make sure that everything that we do is impactful. And so I'm going to make this request to not at the substation on North Market ask and tax this and say that this is a domestic violence center until it is actually a domestic violence center. That does not need to happen. That is in my district, and until it is, my name would not be associated with that. For the police work that are done and for those first responders that are there, yes, I support them wholeheartedly. But when it comes to children, when it comes to women, when it comes to seniors, when it comes to those that are disabled, that is not a game for me. And you just can't arbitrarily go and give somebody a pamphlet, let them walk out the door, and go back home to the person that's abusing them. It is real trauma. It is real trauma. And so, no, Councilman Butcher, I won't let it go. And it's unfortunate that we are here, because the only thing that you're trying to do is to help with the crisis that we are facing in Shreveport, Louisiana, with more than 30% of our homicides being domestic violence related. So with that being said, then we can vote.
Madam Chair?
Yes. Councilman Talaferro?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm going to, excuse me. You know, this is a very sensitive topic, as we all know, no matter if you're sitting up here on the council or you're in the audience. And those of us that have worked with domestic violence victims understand the need and understand the pain and suffering that goes along with interviewing and helping a domestic violence victim. So therefore, we on the SHU believe strongly in prayer for our city. So I'm going to ask Father Paul Martin. I'm going to put him on the spot, but he knows that I do this quite frequently with him. And I'm going to ask him to come up here and pray over us, pray for our discernment, pray for the best resolution that we can possibly arrive at, and for the people that matter most, and that's the victims of domestic violence.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman.
Father Paul, since I consider you my personal priest, I felt like that you were up for the task.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just uphold those who are burdened with the government here in Shreveport. Lord, you pray your presence be with them, that you enfold them in your loving arms. Be very present to them as they seek your counsel, that your Holy Spirit might speak to each one, and having done so, might accomplish your purpose for Shreveport and for those who are abused. We just uphold them to you in their hurt and in their uncertainty, that they might find consolation in your loving arms. Lord, I pray it in Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you, FP.
Thank
Thank you, Father Paul.
If there is no other discussion, then unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Motion is to withdraw.
We won't stop fighting. I promise you that.
And this passes with 7.
Madam Clerk?
Ordinance 25, amending the 2026 Water and Sewage Enterprise Fund budget.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Madam Vice Chair. Any discussion? Let's vote.
That passes with a 7-0 vote.
Okay, thank you.
Ordinance 26, amending the City of Shreveport, Louisiana 2026 Capital Projects Fund budget.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Butcher, second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
Ordinance 27, amending the City of Shreveport 2026 Economic Development District F, District Special Revenue Fund, budget appropriating the funds authorized herein.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Green, second by Councilman Jackson. Any discussion? Let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Ordinance 28, amending the City of Shreveport, Louisiana 2026 Capital Projects Fund budget appropriating the funds authorized herein. There is one amendment. This amendment reflects a requested update that will allow for $2,500,000 to be added to the Municipal Auditorium Restoration project. The ceiling renovation design is complete as far as ready to bid on the project. The funds are being moved from the Hearst Coliseum renovation project, which is not ready to bid currently.
Move on the amendment.
Second.
So moved on the amendment by Councilman Jackson, second by Councilman Butcher. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passes with 7.
So moved as amended.
Second.
So moved on the motion as amended by Councilman Jackson, second by Councilman Brooks. Any discussion? Let's vote.
This passes with 7.
Ordinance 29 to amend Chapter 26, Article 6, Division 3 concerning construction management to risk project contact methods.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Green,
Second.
second by Councilman Butcher. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passed with 7.
Ordinance 30 to amend Shreveport Code of Ordinance Section 26-210.21 subsection B to authorize use of monies generated through the city prosecutor's pretrial diversion program for the public safety fund in addition to program administration.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Butcher,
Second.
second by Councilman Brooks. Any discussion? Let's vote.
And this passed with 7.
Madam Clerk, is there any other table legislation to be removed from the table today?
No, ma'am.
We have
but,
no, we have no.
Before you move on, we had some requests to speak. They thought they was in the NPC. They set them down there. But they are all on the appeal at the end of the agenda.
When we
we're
take
gonna
up the
wait.
case, we can
Have
have
them
them
call.
It's for the zoning appeal? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have no property standards or ABO appeals to consider today. We have the following MPC case to consider today, case number 26-8C, appeal by Ashley David for special use permit and site plan, 3100 Highland Avenue, southwest corner of Kings Highway and Highland Avenue, gas station and retail sales of alcohol, beer, and wine. Are we call it to order? Yes. So it's now been called to order. Where do we proceed from here?
Normally you'd call up the applicant and then the appellant,
And then the request.
and then the request to speak.
Will the applicant please come to the mic? Are you the applicant?
Ashley David.
Is she here?
Okay.
Good afternoon. Jeff Spikes, 4740 Richmond Avenue, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. I'm here representing Mr. Omar Ali on the 3100 Highland development. This is more than just a gas station with beer and wine sales. It's a mixed-use, one-off development that is designed site-specific for the neighborhood. We've been through 2 neighborhood participation meetings and various other meetings getting to this point. First meeting didn't go our way. We were trying to put we were trying to rezone so that we could have the building on the back of the site. We completely pivoted. We had another neighborhood participation meeting. We got a lot of comments from the neighborhood and stakeholders, which we implemented into the project. A lot of things were done to get ourselves aligned with the MPC, the UDC regulations, the current master plan. We completely flipped the site. There's a lot of cues from the neighborhood. I don't know if you've seen the renderings, but we've done a lot of things to make this fit in with the neighborhood, safer. We eliminated all pedestrian vehicular interaction on the way into the site, put the buildings at the intersection of Kings and Highland, facing the street, just 7 feet from the street, which is as close as we can get it based on UDC guidelines. It's not a liquor store. It's not just about alcohol sales. That is an ancillary component, as is the gas pumps. We reduced the gas pumps from 8 to 6. We feel like it's a quality development that was designed to fit with the neighborhood. There are no pedestrian, or there are no vehicular ingress or egress out of the site other than on Kings Highway. That was a direct comment from the neighborhood. Another one of the residents that you might hear from today said that 10 o'clock is bedtime for most reasonable people. We think that's reasonable. So our hours are 6 to 10. It's going to be a mixed use. There's going to be a brunch / coffee shop / juice bar restaurant. There's going to be a sit-down dinner-style restaurant with outdoor seating. Yes, outdoor seating works. If you go by drip about 7 o'clock tonight, you'll notice that. I've had that argument a couple times. So, I mean, we feel like we've done a yeoman's job of designing a quality development that responds to as many of the neighborhood concerns as we could possibly address. That's where we are. So I'll take questions. I know I'm probably close to my end of my time.
Madam Chair. Mr. Spikes, do you have any renderings of the building?
I do.
Do you have enough to pass out?
I can just pass them down, everybody. Yeah, there's,
Okay.
there's,
Can you put them on a projector?
Okay. Sorry, this is a shot looking at, this is from the corner of Kings at Highland. This is the outdoor dining I mentioned. We, like I said, we took cues from the neighborhood. Sorry. Anyway, this is how the building is going to look from the street.
It looks just like you.
There it goes. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's nice.
So anyway, that's the rendering of the building from the street. This is a site plan. Top of screen is Atkins. Bottom of screen is, I'm sorry, I've got to turn around. Top of screen is Kings Highway. Bottom of screen is Atkins. You'll notice the big green landscape buffer that we left at the back. You'll also notice this red line is a brick wall that is there that we're keeping along this neighbor's residence, that side, even though their driveway and that wall are on our property. That's an agreement we made because we're trying to be good stewards of the environment that's already there and try to leave as much as we can. This red line also around the perimeter, that represents the C1, C2 break in the property. That's where we added our first major pedestrian access. And then these other breaks that you see in the building, those are actually breezeways that we cut into the building, which is also includes covered walk along both street corridors. We incorporate a ride share location, and also are trying to align with the road diet that that is coming down from the Centenary corridor. So kind of trying to pre-design in expectation of growth for the area.
So Jeff, on the left-hand side, as you're looking at this, that would be where Family Dollar is, correct?
Yes.
And then the south part is the old Don's parking lot.
Correct.
I'd assume. And then so from Kings Highway, you're going to see the back of the building. Is that right?
From Kings Highway, no. That's the thing. We fronted the building to Kings Highway. We had it flipped to where the building was at the back of the site. So we pushed everything. So that's we're down on building square footage. We're down on developable area. But we heard that the neighbors didn't want the building back closer to the neighborhood. We shoved it all the way. So there's a front, and we're having to build 4 sides of this building as a presentable front because we've got a front Kings Highway.
So you're not going to just be looking at a wall going down Kings Highway.
No, you'll see this. That's looking from Kings Highway, and then we'll also mimic this same language on the interior of the building as well. So it's think of Strawn's, the Centenary Hardware. That is the style we mimic. That's why you see the 1.5 story. That's why you see the red brick that we borrowed from Atkins. That's what some of the detailing we borrowed from the Highland Center because that's where one of the neighborhood participation meetings was, and I saw a couple of the ideas there, the awnings and things that thought it's not just a big national conglomerate coming in to shove a Murphy's down your throat. It is a site-specific response to what we see in the neighborhood.
So getting in and out of this thing on that other side.
Right.
Is that going to be a problem if you've got people getting gas? That's your only entrance and exit right there, right?
Right. I mean, that's just it. We're making that exit and entrance as wide as we can make it. But what we heard in the neighborhood meeting is we don't want any vehicular access back out on Highland because of the cut-throughs.
I agree with that. But I also think that if you've sat there at 5 o'clock traffic backs up all the way to that Family Dollar. I just am concerned people trying to get gas. I watched a guy yesterday almost get hit trying to pull into the Circle K to the left from that area. I don't know if you're going to make a left turn out of there, it could be problematic.
I get it. That's, the gas pump is an ancillary thing. We need it to make a successful development, but it's not the entire use. It's going to be a mixed use. It's not only about the gas. It's not only about the beer and wine. There are 2 sit-down restaurants. It's in the hours is another thing. We keep getting compared to other gas stations on this stretch. We're not trying to be that kind of a spot. It's going to be tied into the True Crime Center. I've already talked to the client and a few other stakeholders in the city. We're okay with there's some security concerns. We're going to have 24-hour surveillance, even though it's going to be shut down from 10 to 6. We've responded to everything we can, and we've tried to, the lighting. We're putting only 15 to 20 foot pole lighting in, only where it's needed. We're not putting the big, 30, 40 foot lights. We're going to have we're doing actually 2.5 times the landscape buffer on the back of the site.
I mean, I look, it looks horrible there right now. I went by there the other day and there was a homeless person sleeping in where the old movie theater part used to be down there at the bottom. It looks awful. My concern is the gas station part of it, honestly. If it were just going to be restaurant and, maybe a shop or two in there, I would, and I'll preface this, whatever Councilman Brooks and what Councilman Talaferro, because it's both, it's on the line for them. I always try to respect them because they have more of they know what their constituents want. But I do frequent that area a lot, and I think that I think that what y'all did at Sweetport up there was a definite benefit. It was a similar situation. The building looked great, and look at what we've got there now with Drip Donuts. So I agree with that. But I am a little concerned of people coming in and out of a gas station. And then my second concern is we've got to, from what I understand, from what everybody's told me, I've not met with the gentleman that's proposing this. He operates a nice business for all that I've heard. But, and Councilman Talaferro and I were talking about this. What if he sells it? And then what do you end up with? Because the Circle K's used to be nice when they were owned by Circle K. And now you drive up there and you can't get a gallon of gas because they're out of gas. So that's what one of my concerns is. But we can't speculate what's going to happen, and we can't really legislate what the future looks like. But I have to tell you that is in the back of my mind.
A couple things. Stipulations. There are some stipulations that we've already agreed to. We're willing to make those deed restrictions. And since you brought up Sweetport, I actually brought up a neighborhood participation meeting because I asked in one of those meetings, what would the neighborhood support? Would it be an ice cream shop? Because when I moved to Shreveport in 2001, my wife moved here in 2002. My first house was at 627 Gladstone, and I drove by that cleaners until it shut down. And then me and my wife, with our bare hands, renovated that piece of junk that was sitting there vacant for 5 years of us living there. And we turned it into something. And then it didn't make it. So now, yeah, there is a drip there, but we already had a shot to have an ice cream shop, and it didn't make it. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do here? How many developments are we going to let go by? Highland Liquor, since it was mentioned, I had the opportunity to put in a proposal to expand that guy's building, but the neighbors were so upset about it, and I had so many friends that were living in that neighborhood. I said, I can't live in this neighborhood and represent a guy that's going to do this. So I refused to work on that project. So here we are. We've got people behind me that own that piece of property that are here to say no because they don't have the imagination to do what this guy's doing with his property. So that's my thing. I'm a business owner. I'm a Shreveport resident. I taught all 3 of my kids to ride their bikes right there on the center track at Bird before they shut it down and won't let the public use it because, we're not. That's where it is. So yeah,
No, Jeff,
I get it.
And look, I appreciate what you've done in that corridor. You and I have worked on projects together, but those are my concerns that I'm hearing.
I hear you. Yeah.
Those are concerns.
Chair.
So.
Yes.
Councilman
Jackson.
With respect to the residents here that are opposing this, I do applaud the developer for at least going back to the drawing board and trying to find a win-win for the neighborhood. My question is, with the changes you made to your renderings, have you gathered any support from that area based on your conversations from your meetings?
Yeah, and then actually in the second neighborhood meeting, we had a lot of people that were excited about the coffee, the exclusive coffee that's going to be at the coffee shop. Everyone at the end, the tone was completely different at the end of that meeting. And so I thought, okay, here we go. We've got some people that are okay with this, some of the people that were naysayers before, but it's hard to get people to come and, speak in favor of it. It's a lot easier to get people to come speak, against it.
I understand. But from the renderings, to me, it doesn't look like a gas station. I'm assuming it's going to cost about $3 to $5 million. And from a real estate point of view, that usually brings up the property value in the area when you're giving that type of development close around to your house. With respect to Councilman Brooks, I like it. I welcome those type of developments in my area. I still defer to Councilman Brooks, but it looks exciting.
Thank you.
It's better than what's there right now. I promise you that.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Councilman Talaferro.
Jeff, how many changes have you made on behalf of of our constituents at the neighborhood meetings, and how many meetings have we had?
So we've had 2 neighborhood participation meetings, but before both of those, I met with Reform Shreveport and other stakeholders, the Highland Restoration Association
And
president.
who did you meet with?
Chris Lyon and Mr. Moran. Forgive me, I can't remember his first name. I met with Ms. Russell, who's the head of the Highland Restoration Association. That was for the first one, and then the second one was a little bit less. As the meetings go on, the attendance seems to get a little bit less. But in those meetings, we heard you're not in line with the smart growth aspects that we need to be. And so, I mean,
And who brought those up?
Well, the MPC. We also met with the MPC and asked them, hey, what are we doing? What can we do to help? But several, actually, the main ones that we heard, we heard in the NPP meeting when the neighbors that attended that meeting. The majority of these the changes were made in response to that. It was
Estimate how many neighbors were at that meeting?
32 people were at that first
32?
meeting. Yes, sir. And I think about 33 or 34 were at the second meeting. And I think we had I've got a list of about 12 or 13 changes. But when as you know, if you've ever looked at a site plan, when you change one thing, it's kind of like it's a ripple effect. And so, trying to figure out, okay, we only want to, in and out on Kings Highway. Okay, I got to redo the auto turn, and we're have to have paving for that, and we got. So I mean, it was at least 10 or 12, but like I said, it was the pedestrian access. There was a lot of concern about the interaction between the vehicles and the pedestrians, which is why I cut the breezeways in to make it to where you cannot intersect with a vehicle if you don't want to. I mean, you can get right into the site through the breezeways without having to worry about that. We added bike racks. We moved the dumpsters from the back of the site up to the front of the site because I hear the dumpsters at Southfield at 5:30 every other Thursday. So I mean, I get it. So we did that. And I mean, to the point of even okay, how can you make sure that this is going to happen? Well, we've got a way to enforce it. So I mean, it's a lot. We basically just flipped the entire site design to the point of again we're down.
Once you flipped that site design, did you have another meeting?
Yes, we had the second design meeting. Yes, that site was flipped.
Meeting with the community.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many were in attendance there?
That was it was at that 33, 34.
30?
Yes, sir.
I mean, and I'm going to ask this: anybody in the audience attended both these meetings or one? I don't need you to. Okay. All right. That's cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. And based on, I mean, this is a fact-finding mission because we don't take this decision lightly. So based on what is being presented by by Jeff, Jeff, did you make all the changes to support the acceptance of those in attendance to the best of your knowledge?
Did I make all the changes to support?
Well, my point is that you took the time to hear from the constituents for the people who have buy-in in that area.
Right.
And from my understanding, based on your statements, is that you took it back and reworked just about the whole floor plan, so to speak, to accommodate the wishes of a majority of the people that were attending these meetings. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And at the MPC meeting, how many people were there? Was it full?
No, the MPC meeting was actually quite a bit less, I feel, than the zoning meeting. It was probably at least, I don't know, half. But I mean, it was there was still opposition at that meeting. But yeah, we did all this to up the quality of the project to better to address the concerns, and it was all done. It's going to cost more to do this, but my owner's committed to making this a quality development for the neighborhood. Again, we're not just trying to come in. I mean, he could have walked away after that first one and said, you know what, this is going to cost a lot more money. I don't want to do it. But we're still here. We're still trying to make something happen. Several other people have tried. It's just going to sit there and, be a hole in the ground if we don't, get on board with something.
Just for my knowledge, how much of your revenue in a store or a complex such as this is directly related to me gassing up my car? I mean, how much money do we make?
Can I don't do
I'm just
operations.
curious.
I do pretty pictures.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just curious because I think maybe I'm mistaken, but I think maybe the contention is maybe it's the gas pumps and not necessarily. Maybe it's the gas pumps that seems to be a stickler here because of the traffic and so forth and so on. And maybe I'm just guessing. I don't know. I like the design. I liked the design when I first heard about it and saw it. Obviously, I appreciate everything that you all have done to make it part of architecturally make it part of the neighborhood. I am concerned about the entry and exits onto Kings Highway and the congestion, the traffic. And I'm sure that traffic engineering has weighed in on this as well.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
have they made, and Chris Lyons, have they made any suggestions on how this could be better served?
Chris isn't a traffic engineer, but yes, we've heard from a traffic engineer.
He's the Shreveport.
Well,
he's the guy that's
yeah.
doing the Shreveport revitalization. Well, the whole centenary Kings Highway.
Yeah. But yes, we've. I mean, the engineer gave his recommendations on the width of that drive and the radius, and we yielded to those recommendations. And again, we've every comment we've heard from the public, other than remove the gas station, we've tried to yield to, and we've had some comments back from the site plan review dealing with that and other things, and yeah, we've tried to at the same time as we were modifying to flip the site and do the other things, we were also moving these other things around that we were being asked to on the the city permit side of things as well. So yeah, they've seen it.
And one more question, then I'll yield to other council members. So in your opinion, do you feel that you've addressed a majority, if not every concern that could prohibit the construction of this project based on the feedback that you've received from the constituents or the people that attended these meetings?
I feel like we did. I feel like we did. I even threw in a dog park, but I heard that they didn't want a dog park, so I pulled that back out because everybody said it wasn't a thing. Yeah, we were just. Yeah, I do feel like we've done everything we can. Every comment that we can.
So what percentage of the people attending mentioned the gas pumps at all? Was that something that was say that, man, I like everything, but those pumps got to go?
I mean,
we don't want
probably
another
so.
gas
Yeah.
station. Say again?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, but most of them,
Most of them didn't like the gas pump
right.
thing.
But we reduced the gas pumps. I will say
Right,
that.
right.
We
How
did
many
reduce
are
them.
There's six. Was 8.
I mean, but it's like saying, you know, I want a Burger King with no Whopper. You know, you can have the, you know, Whopper Jr., but, you know, so I mean, it's one of those things that this is what the purpose of this is what his business is, and so that's kind of what the development is built
And how many
around.
gas stations are within, I don't know, between Line Avenue and Erie Drive on Kings Highway?
Fuel stations only.
Fuel.
There are 3 if you consider Exxon, but I mean Exxon is typically blocked by the LSU golf cart and the red Jeep, so you typically only get about 2 pumps there on a good day. I can't get my truck in there to get diesel because there's not enough room, and I use him for my my mechanic work. So I mean I think DJ's a great guy, but I can't can't get my truck in there. But that's again it's we've responded to as many as we can, and it's vital to his business. to
And
have
what
a gas
percentage had some issues with the alcohol sales?
pump. I mean, I don't honestly. I didn't take a poll. I mean,
I mean, you'd know. I mean, they would be very boisterous about.
Yeah, I mean, those are typically I would say at least half. I would say yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure it's more, but I didn't count. I didn't count heads.
All right, I'll yield for now, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Councilman Brooks? Yeah. No, we wait for everybody else to finish answering their question, and then we get it ready to move. So, request for those. Okay. So we ask for those that are in favor or those that are against.
We still got to hear the appellant.
Okay.
The appellant, and then, the request to speak.
Okay.
And you can always bring up Mr. Jean whenever you want.
Okay. Mr. Jean, yes,
Oh, no,
Mr. B
Mr.
will come up.
You want me to keep
And
this
then
up
if
just
you
in
have
case?
any questions for Mr.
Yeah, that's
Jean,
fine.
then you
Thank
can
you.
ask
Yeah,
him
just
after
leave it
that.
up.
Mhm. Okay. Your turn.
Thank
Thank
you, Jeff.
you.
Ms. Ashley, you want to read that last paragraph?
Sure, I'll go ahead and finish that. I believe I had just started. Gas stations, by nature, have many environmental concerns that must be considered. Underground tanks leaking and the airborne toxins that have well been scientifically proven to cause many negative health effects, including some cancers. Is it really necessary to add another location to purchase fuel, given there is already 2 gas stations located on the strip of Kings Highway within 4 blocks of each other? It seems to be, at this time, this seems to be what's the easiest development at this moment in time. If our city can fix the crime problem, the property standards issues, and work to attract new industry, I truly believe this corner will not be empty. But it has to start there. It's a bottom-up problem. If we have a thriving city and a thriving community, and we're all working together, I don't know who might want to buy that corner lot, but it's going to be a lot more attractive if it's not been polluted with gas tanks at that point. And that's what I have to say.
Councilman Talbot.
Ms. DeVete.
Yes.
Do you like the way the building's laid out? Other than the pumps? And I think the pumps are pretty hidden.
I do not live directly behind, but from my point of view, I do not think the building layout is terrible at all.
Does it go with the
Yeah,
the
I
whole
think
facade
so.
of Kings Highway Highland?
I think so. Chris Lyons is probably better at speaking what Kings Highway is going to look like, hopefully very soon. And apparently we're narrowing the roads. It may be 1 lane each way and a turning lane in the middle.
Right.
So I don't know how that conflicts with that. But as far as the overall appearance of the building, I have no issues with that. We welcome restaurants in the neighborhood. I believe all of our neighbors support Fat Calf and Strawn's, and you know, drip, we support those. We all live there. I mean, whatever. And I can't speak on behalf of my neighbors, but I believe if you had a restaurant that wanted to sell alcohol with dinner, nobody's going to oppose that. It's the packaged alcohol, beer and wine, and you can call one alcohol and one beer and wine. You can drink just as much to cause an issue and drinking a little bit of the other. And just to speak to Ms. Taylor, domestic violence a lot of times starts with alcohol and drugs. We're at an at-risk neighborhood already. There's a lot of domestic violence arrests between Highland and that area. We see it all the time. I just don't know why we're exposing our children and our families to more of this. And I'm not a teetotaler. I like a nice cocktail with dinner myself. I'm not stating that. But it's saturated at this point. When we know better, we do better.
Councilman Taylor.
And we know better.
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me let Councilman Brooks, I'm sorry,
Absolutely,
Councilman
I'm
Brooks.
sorry. Yes.
You had the floor.
Correct. Go ahead.
You had the floor.
My apologies.
So, Mr. V, you and I have spoken on this matter.
Mhm.
If this development did not have the gas station and beer and wine, you would not be opposed to it?
Me personally, no. But you can let the neighbors close to speak. But me personally, no. As far as it affects the tenants that I can speak on behalf of that I have in that area, which is about 80 tenants, no, we would not oppose that.
You sent me a list of stipulations that if we were to pass this, you would like to see implemented.
Yes.
I forwarded those to the architect, and I believe he has agreed to almost all of them. Is that correct, Jeff? All of them. And then we have, I guess I should bring Mr. Jean up and give a little history on, this has already been, the lady that spoke that lives on Atkins, we did not vote on this the first time, ma'am. This was voted on by the MPC. So we're here to either confirm their vote, they voted yes, or we're here to deny it. So we have not ever heard this case. Mr. Jean, would you come up, please?
Do you want me to stay or go sit down? Do you want me to sit down?
Just sit on the front row, probably.
Okay.
Mr. Jean, you and I met Friday at length
Yes,
over
we did.
this particular issue.
Yes, sir.
Some of the concerns in the neighborhood, and I agree with them, we tell these business owners, you have to close at 10 p.m. You can't empty the dumpster between, other than 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But then when they do it, when they get open and they disregard these stipulations, I'm concerned with, and I know I heard at the NPP meeting, so are some of the neighbors, they're concerned with what enforcement do we have?
Well, we can actually revoke certificates of occupancy if these stipulations aren't followed. We can also cite when instances like the dumpster pickup is happening and things of that nature. Eventually, that can go all the way to court. And I think, Mr. Jordan, is he here? He can speak in detail of exactly how that works, but in general, that's what we're able to enforce it, yes. Because this is not a straight zoning case, this is a special exception use. We can put stipulations and enforce them.
They're already zoned properly. They just need the special use
They're zoned
permit.
properly. Way this works is that when we lay out the use matrix, if we thought that the gas station wasn't appropriate at all, it wouldn't even be in there. But we have a special use. We'd say, okay, if you have a properly designed site plan that mitigates the issues with this use, well, then it can be approved. And that is what the process went through. And as you heard, there's quite a number of changes. Now, I want to address the number of meetings, because I think people get a little confused about that. There was, at the parking lot area of the old Don's was zoned B1, which became C1. And then the first request was to change that from C1 to C2, which would have allowed the gas station or the entire development to be pulled back towards the neighborhood. When we looked at as staff, I've heard the term before, commercial creep. We're taking away from the corridor and bringing it back in the neighborhood. We were opposed to that. That ended up getting denied at the MPC level. It came to this body, and you also denied it. Matter of fact, you're actually the one that made that decision to deny. So it seems like to the public that this has been in front of us twice, but the gas station as a use, although we knew that was what his end use was, but that actual decision on the use didn't come, but just came from front of the MPC at the last meeting that we had. So that's where some of the confusion is, because we already denied the gas station. Well, the gas station as a particular use was not in front of the MPC to this last meeting.
So the back half of the lot that's closest to Atkins.
Yes.
It's zone C1.
It's C1, and the
and
parking
the
area they have is
MPC
appropriate.
denied changing it to C2.
That's correct.
And now they've moved the development all to the C2 portion.
Yes, which has a pathway, which is this special use permit, which is in
I
front of you.
believe you and I looked at a map Friday. Isn't almost all of Kings Highway from Uri to Line Avenue? Isn't it almost all zone C2?
Yeah, the majority of it, because that's a commercial corridor. So that's a corridor zoning that we want to. You have a significant amount of traffic. You want to have those types of businesses, but the more auto-centric uses and things of that nature that you would see in C3, they require a special use permit. A drive-through, for example, would be one as well.
And there's not a drive-through in this development, correct?
No, there may have been some talk about it in the early stages, but it's not in this rendition at all.
And the rendering that they have submitted to you, that your panel voted on, it has to be built exactly that way.
Well, yes,
The site
because
plan.
it's the exterior elevations are part of the site plan, and yes, it needs to be built exactly the way it's been shown. There's some minor, sometimes when you get into construction, there's some minor tweaking you have to do, and we can do that administratively, but nothing major. You can do some, if you find you have to move it a foot or two, they're allowed to have something like that. That's common with construction. But as far as it has to be substantially the same as what's presented.
Okay, these additional stipulations that Ms. DeVete has requested, how would we go about getting them
on
the record, so to speak?
If you were so inclined to uphold the decision of the MPC, you can add those stipulations. You can either uphold, you can modify, or you can overturn. So those are your three choices. So you
would
could
it be
add those
modified?
stipulations.
Would it be considered modified?
Or approve with stipulations?
Approved with
Or uphold with
stipulations.
stipulations.
Yes. There are stipulations associated with it, these are pretty much the same that the board, but the record wasn't really clear what they were. So when I wanted to make sure that this record was clear when it came in front of you, that's why I had that handout. So that
Right,
you could see the exact.
You already have a list of stipulations that
Yes.
they're bound to. Ms. DeVete has asked for a few extra.
Well, I think there was agreements, but I don't know as far as actual stipulations. Those are the only ones that I handed out, are the ones that I'm
But we
aware of.
could add and Ashley, that's what you sent to me, right? That list. I'm sorry, I was driving and I didn't respond. But
Yes,
Okay.
you as a body can add stipulations from what you hear at this hearing.
And they
You
would
have the
be,
ability
and they
to
would
do
be
that.
enforced by the MPC.
Yes, yes.
Does that, the stipulations that she sent us, does that still includes the fuel being there though, correct?
Right, because
Gary?
Yes.
Okay.
Madam Vice Chair, can I speak?
Yeah, please.
Mr. Jean, MPC approved this 6-1, correct?
I think it might have been 4-1. I believe that might have been the vote.
4-1?
I think that was the vote.
Can you just kind of summarize what all went into that decision? Just a summary of you guys' expertise. What are you looking for? Because they're appealing to this body, and we do try to respect the MPC's process and the vote. So I do want you to state for the record what all went into you saying we felt like this was good, hearing the neighbors' pros and cons.
So what you want to look at anytime doing this, any kind of special use is what kind of potential impact would this use have in this
surrounding property that is dissimilar zoning. So you have residential zoning that's around there. You want to look at what kinds of things could potentially be an issue. So we looked at traffic. There's one example. One of the biggest issues that were brought up in the first meeting, even though it wasn't a site plan hearing, it was zoning, but we took that in consideration that this could be, the way it was designed, could be a cut through, so that traffic could go in from Kings Highway, cut over, go down Highland, and then drive through Atkins. And we did not think that that was appropriate. So that is one of the mitigation items that staff suggested. As a matter of fact, Jeff came prior to that meeting and asked for our advice. And that was one of the first things out of my mouth was we need to get rid of that driveway on Highland, because that's going to set up some problems for the neighborhood where it makes it incompatible. So we also looked at the locations of the trash. We talked about not only design related, but operational type issues as well, because that can be controlled, and that's what you'll see in some of the stipulations. So we said we need to get the garbage dumpster as far away from the residential as we possibly can. And then addition to that, we need to put a stipulation that it only can be picked up at certain hours so we don't disturb the neighbors. So those were the kinds of things we looked at. We looked at the locations of the way that this is cited now with the plans that we know are coming forward with redoing the corridor, is to make sure that the buildings relate to the street and they're not relating shoved back in where their backs are to the residents. So basically, they came up with a design where you actually have a 360 view of everything that looks pleasant. You don't really have a back on this building. And so it relates very much to the street. It's very pedestrian scale. It's comfortable that you can walk to and things of that nature. So those are all the kinds of things that we looked at, many of which was already proposed from Jeff after he had heard all the comments in the first MPP meeting and tried to incorporate in his plan. So we're trying to see what kind of what impacts there might be, and see if we could minimize those through the quality of the site plan, and in addition to that, put a couple of stipulations that deal with the operational aspects.
Where on this site plan is the dumpster?
When you would be right here.
Okay.
Basically up against the Family Dollar.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, what is your name again?
Ashley DeVee.
Miss Ashley, I understand the pumps, the gas is the issue. Giving the restaurant, coffee shop, ice cream parlor, that's not a equal trade-off for the gas, for you.
No.
For the neighborhood, for anybody that's opposed.
They live right behind it. But no, that makes no sense to me. I understand, like I said, I welcome development, but it's got to be the right thing on the backs of the neighbors that live right behind it. And the gas pumps simply aren't it. They're not.
Yeah.
And I will say, I just want everybody to picture in their mind, with one ingress and one egress to this location, when that tanker truck is sitting on Kings Highway, you get a school bus, brakes don't work, somebody slams the brakes in front of it, whatever, you've got a major environmental issue when it hits the back of that thing. And we already know the traffic is a nightmare at that location. I live right down the street. I'm up and down it all the time. It's going to be a problem. I would think probably when this gets a little bit farther down the line, traffic and engineering is probably going to come back and say that one ingress and egress isn't going to work. But who am I? I'm just guessing it's not real safe.
I probably missed this in this part of the discussion. I'm sorry, I had to step outside. Is removing the gas pumps on the table?
Not for the developer.
I don't believe so.
No, we had spoke at the last neighborhood participation meeting, and he said it's, gas pumps, beer and wine, or nothing. He can't do the development without it.
Jeff, do you have any comments on that? If it was not a gas station, would the development go through?
No.
It's, I think you understand the position that they in, because they're not saying that they are against development at all. But I do think that it does pose a problem, because of the transportation issue on this street. It seems not just to be a problem for them, but it's the consistent question that the council has as well. And we know how crowded Line Avenue is. We see it with, what is it, South Highlands, for the school, where you see all the people lined on the street as well. We see it with the Circle K on Line Avenue and Piermont when you turn and you have that particular traffic there. So those are major issues in that particular area. And I think it's hard to ignore because the development looks extremely promising. It's a beautiful development, and I think that we like more of having outside restaurants because the way that our city is growing. But I know the developer says no, that he would not want to do that part. But does he not think that in that particular area where there seems to be, Holland is a different kind of neighborhood in our city. It is unique in its setup. It's probably one of the most diverse areas within the city of Shreveport, where you see walkability, where you see individuals in the community loving to be outside, loving to be able to mingle with one another, all of those things that we have. Would you consider, again, and tell him that this is for the council, if this is okay with you, Mr. Brooks, Councilman Brooks, if he would rethink the gas station component of it?
I'm
And is it
asking him to
no?
come, I can't make that decision because
I
I'm
know
just
you
the
can't.
designer. Yeah.
I know you can't. But is it a total no for you?
Hey, Council, how are you?
I'm good.
You step up a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we did a visibility study on the project, and it took me about 4 months. 100 was just to get back the report and everything else. Will visibility go there? Will make sense and economic for us, for our development, for our mortgage, and et cetera. Whatever sustained pretty much for the development. So it's going to be very hard for us not to get the fuel part aspect in there, because for the branding and the restaurant, the whole thing, it's a unique concept how they do it. So it's pretty much like outskirts, like when you go to Dallas, Houston, Austin, all these other areas, that's how everything is looking. And when you go into the cities, that's what you see everywhere. So I'm originally from Shreveport. I've been here, I lived here for 22 years. So I'm actually instead of investing in Dallas or Houston or Austin, I came back here to invest back into my city as well. So it's not just, I've been in the Highland area for over 18 years. So when they say that I haven't been in this area, I don't know what it is, I've been here. So it's going to be hard without the gas. Right. And we own breakfast brunch places. We're going to have a breakfast and brunch place there. It's going to be breakfast and lunch. And we're going to have actually a Cajun restaurant there as well, with the gas station as well. So the gas station as well, it's going to have a juice bar. It's going to have a salad bar when people go into it, organic products, all that stuff too. It's not just another ordinary Circle K
Which means,
as well.
Which means essentially that you're going to have more traffic at the gas station.
Yeah.
When you say that. And that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
That's
But
why
I
I'm
just
asking.
want to get a little feel so you know exactly what the project was going there.
The project seems to be amazingly beautiful. The component for them, in which I totally understand what it's saying, because it's not an area that is not non-busy.
Yeah.
It is. I know you live over there. When we drive through there, this is what we see. So I don't know, again, before you brought the project, did they have the meetings and all that? I'm thinking that they did with neighborhood participation meetings. I probably missed that part. Forgive me for that. But I'm just thinking, pretty much along those lines, seriously, for what is already there, and then just that congestion level. As the city grows, you're gonna have growth. But when they're looking at it in a residential neighborhood, too, it can be quite challenging.
Well, the good thing is that the MPC board, they did their homework, they did their research on traffic engineers and all that stuff, so they see it was how, the width of how big we're gonna make the entrance and all that stuff, for the cars to go in and everything else, so they pretty much, they did their work on it, for us to allow to have there as well.
How many people signed the petition? 29, 30. Okay.
And when we were at the first, also I was going to speak, so when we were at first, so one of the MPC board members was at the meeting, so they heard exactly what the people were saying, everything what they want. Everybody there was excited, so excited, and everything else. So 75% of the people that were there, they're not here as well.
Okay. Madam Chair?
I would like to say one more thing, Madam Chair. Councilman Butcher's right. It's an eyesore, to say the least, the way it sits right now. I think I had to have property standards, asked him to mow it half a dozen times or more last spring and summer. It's been a homeless encampment on a couple of occasions. So I'm really torn on this. Mr. V did bring up a really good point, though. What if traffic engineering comes back and says you can't just have the one entrance on Kings Highway? So is there anybody from traffic engineering here?
They can weigh in on it.
Because I think that's critically important, you know, because
It is.
of how it's situated. And you can't say that nothing is going to happen there. We've seen stuff happen all the time, you know, in that area. And so in going in, and again, how busy that area is off of Kings Highway. It is busy, even that little Exxon on the corner. Sometimes it can create a traffic nightmare where the high school is. And so I'm just looking at it and visualizing when I drive that way, and then what I see at various times of the day. Because, you know, there's Circle K right there.
I wish we could have the egress on the other side. If they had allowed us to, we even, we gave that up just to make them happy as well. So there was an answer, but you know, I'm sorry. We did everything.
Just real quick.
Okay.
Could we
compromised.
Could we do similar to what we did on the Ellaby Road situation, because we had a question on the traffic? We requested that the developer give us a traffic study.
That's what I was
Could we
gonna ask.
remand it back to MPC, subject to a traffic study?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna, it was my question, Mr. Jean. Was a traffic study actually done?
No, it didn't meet the warrants for traffic studies, what I understand. But we did run it by the traffic engineer, and he only had he had a remark about the width of the driveway, but he didn't have a problem with one single access. Actually, yes, one of the comments was actually, it was a little too wide, let's make it a little narrower. But that is actually a permitting issue that we get into later on in the detail. But as far as conceptually, the way it's all laid out, the one driveway works. And it did go through traffic engineering. We always send all of these out for comments to all the departments. And that was the one comment they gave us, and it was included in our report.
Why did you say a traffic study was not done? It didn't meet the requirements?
Well, you have to have so many trip generations and things of that nature before it gets triggered. But as far as I know, there wasn't one that was required at this point. Now, if you wanted to remand it back to look at that traffic issue, obviously we can do that. We can, have a traffic study. That's something that you can do.
Councilman Telfair.
Madam Chair, thank you. This is what I'd like to see, and I know we're vacillating back and forth, and I know that there was an original cut to exit on the other side. Another one's not on Kings Highway, but into the residential area.
On Highland.
On
Highland,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and that was part of the original deal, original concept, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
that wasn't ever officially in front of us, but yes,
All right,
that was
but
it.
it was nixed by the constituents in that area.
That was one of the
And
comments.
so you redesigned it to exit only, entrance exit on Kings Highway to basically to appease their concerns about exiting into a residential area, correct?
Yes, and this was an effort to get the more commercial activity towards that corridor instead of the neighborhood.
And they were acceptance of that. They were accepting that.
The applicant accepted that.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I see nowhere, I didn't see, I got the list just like everybody else of the requests and the concerns of Ms. David, and nowhere in there it says anything about the concerns over the gas pumps. So I'm presuming that it was where the vehicles would be exiting after they got gas into the residential area.
Well, that was the problem. Anytime you have a commercial development and you're going to put traffic onto a local street,
Sure.
which even though that's probably a more of a minor collector possibly, but it's still local. It has a significant amount of traffic, but still you would have the potential of that traffic coming out taking a right turn, going around the corner, going through Atkins, going back up to the other intersection. And that more than likely would have happened. And we were trying to prevent that traffic from going into that neighborhood.
Oh, I
street.
agree. I wouldn't want it either. I mean, if I was
Right.
over there, I wouldn't want it pouring out or dumping into a residential area where I got to go left to Kings and a right, back into the Highland area. I mean, it would be convenient, if I could get that.
Right.
But I understand the concerns of the residents in that area.
Right.
I would like traffic engineering's opinion, so we can put that to rest.
Okay.
Therefore, if we have to remand it back to MPC,
So when a traffic,
somebody has another idea.
when a traffic impact study is done, what the
your question?
primary focus is to see if there's any kind of mitigation that needs to happen to the roadway to make sure that roadway is functioning properly.
Okay. And they're saying
And
no.
it's not really whether or not the driveway is allowed or not, it's whether or not mitigation might need to take place. That's what mainly
So
is
let me
doing.
ask just a real quick question, and then I'm done. Could you do somewhere down a left turn out on the Highland with a pork chop or something that you can only turn to the left, where it's still
Obviously-
in that commercial district by the nail shop? Left turn only.
Well,
and
I'm
make
not
it to
a,
where
I'm
you-
not a traffic engineer. I've been
I mean, is
around
that
it enough to
something
know, I
that's
can
possible?
tell you that pork chops, if they have to be designed properly or people cheat all the time. So it's possible that we would need to get a traffic engineer to weigh in on that.
Well, I think that's what we need to do then.
Oh.
We had that in there.
Yeah,
We took it back out because we heard nothing on Highland, but I've got the traffic engineering comments. I can
Okay. All right, I think we have other
Oh.
people that need to.
Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna let you speak. But no. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're gonna have your opportunity to speak. We're gonna give you that. But if you want us to make informed decisions, then we have to hear what is going on. Exactly. You're gonna get an opportunity to speak. Madam Vice Chair just said that. You're gonna get that, and you're gonna get that probably in the next 2 minutes. So just hold tight. Just hold tight. Just hold tight. No, Marcus can't do that. This is not his meeting. This is our meeting. Okay? So just hold tight. I understand that you're upset by everything that you've heard.
Madam Chair, Marcus, can you explain the way this goes, the procedure? I mean, I understand that they've been waiting, but there is a procedure similar to a court hearing. Is that correct?
Somewhat, but the difference and I think the confusion is that MPC has a different method of public comment than the city council. MPC does public comment upon each agenda item, one at a time. The city council typically does public comment at the beginning of the meeting for everything on the agenda and then runs through the agenda. That was, I believe, the reason why there was confusion about the cards, and I think that that's the reason why there's confusion about the process that's taking place right now. But it's just a difference in how we do public comment. Public comment has to be done prior to voting on any matter, but there's no prescribed procedure for how it takes place. And I think that that's where the confusion is coming from.
So this is basically what we're doing is we're hearing the applicant, then we're hearing the appellant, then we will hear public comments, and we can ask them questions. So that's why they're popping up, is because we're asking them the questions. And we may ask y'all questions during public comment. I just don't want y'all to be angry and think that we're not hearing you, because we are. But there's 7 of us that are about to make a vote that's going to impact everybody, and we have questions that we need to be asking. So once we get through this part of the procedure that we've done, I've been here 8 years. This is the way we've done it for 8 years, right or wrong.
Correct.
Once we get done with that, then we'll hear y'all, and we may have questions for y'all as well, and then we'll vote. So don't talk out of order, because I don't.
I don't want to.
Just wait until we get done, and then we'll let you can.
Just hold tight. This our order. Just hold tight, because it's not an MPC meeting.
You need anything else from me?
I think.
I'm ready for public comments. Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
We're done.
Have a seat.
Yeah. First public comment is John Atkins.
My name is John B. Atkins III. My address is 235 Kings Highway, Shreveport, Louisiana. And brass tacks, we own 2 blocks of Kings Highway and a portion of Atkins and everything around Drip, which we restored. So we have a vested interest in the neighborhood, and vested interest in the neighborhood increasing in its viability, increasing in commerce, increasing in value. And I am partners with Ashley David, and I'm kind of the boots on the ground of the organization, doing maintenance, everything else. And I'm also the one that has to deal with the transients and the homeless and the crime. And we've had our trash cans set on fire at the apartment complex on Kings Highway twice, almost engulfing a car, and would have blown the car up. It ejected a man from underneath a building on Kings Highway that was living there. And that is a contingent of crime and vagrancy that is creeping through Highland. And I'm sure y'all are aware of this is a major problem. And I don't have a problem with this development whatsoever, except for the gas and the liquor and the wine and the cigarettes and any other thing you put under vice. But unfortunately, that is a draw for the people on the north side. And it's hard to improve a neighborhood when you're fighting something like that, which, as y'all well know, on every Circle K in town is a fight, especially the one on Gilbert and Kings Highway. And that is what I'm trying to avoid. And that's pretty much y'all all know about the density of the gas stations, and this would be a very close density of gas stations, more dense even than the length of 7 miles of Erie Drive. So that in itself, it's not needed. But the main thing is crime, transiency, and trying to keep that line of Kings Highway where the problems in Highland, of which there are many, and parts of Highland are great, but I'm trying to keep that from moving further south. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ms. Pam Todd.
Hi, my name is Pam Todd, and I reside at 503 Atkins Avenue. And I just had a couple questions before my time began. Is the person who's speaking supposed to identify themselves and their address? The business developer did not, and I wanted to know if we could have him do that before I proceed.
Yes, ma'am, we can. We just need your name and address for the record.
326 East Stoner.
Okay.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Thank you.
Okay, this isn't part of my testimony, but this is what I wanted to say on behalf of the residents I spoke to. I would like to set the record straight about some inaccuracies that occurred.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah. She's talking. Let her speak, please. No, just what I'm saying to you all is please stop talking. Let her speak.
I know my time's going to begin, but
hold on 1 second. I'm going to give you your time back. Just do that, because I don't want to have to put anybody out this chamber. So respect her time, and she sat there patiently and respected everybody else's. Okay.
Well, what I would want to correct first isn't my time, but just some severe inaccuracy. The developer stood before the MPC and he said, "Hi, my name is Omar Ali and I reside at 134 Eagle Bend Way." When I went back and listened to the tapes, I heard that, and he also said at the meetings, "I live in the Haven." My friend who's a real estate agent did a property search, and whether it was him or his father, somebody by the last name Sami Ali owned that property in Eagle Bend Way in the Haven, sold it in 2021 to the business that he presently owns. They sold it in 2022 to a doctor who was here for 4 years, who has since sold that property in February. Y'all can check all the public records, February 13th of this year, to another doctor who is stationed at the Oshner Highland. So we have been, this whole thing has been thrown in our laps under false pretenses. As you notice today, he did no longer say he lives in the Haven at 134 Eagle Bend Way. He's given the address on Stoner, which I assume, I don't know, I assume is the other gas station that he's building on Stoner Avenue. So just let the record reflect that there has not been full transparency in any of this since day one. He presented himself that he's one of us. Also, the property was never sold. He did not buy it. I showed proof at the MPC that there was a deed transfer. Mr. Ali, Mr. Alwad, the man who's owned the property that y'all have had problems with for the last 10 years, wouldn't clean up his property, wouldn't get the asbestos after the building burnt down. He still owns it, is a business partner with Mr. Ali and another gentleman out of Texas. And I think that when you make your decision, I think that's very important that you can see some discrepancies on what's going on here. Another thing on the record I'd like to request to be corrected is Mr. Chris Lyons came and spoke in front of the MPC 10 minutes. He represented all of us against. He used the 10 minutes time to say why everything about this was a bad idea. He was not for it. The lady from the Highland Neighbor Association, Miss Charlotte, she spoke against it. The lady from the Gladstone Neighborhood Association spoke against it. So whenever no one came to the second meeting, and so when I called Miss Charlotte and I said, "Hi, Miss Charlotte," I didn't call her, I texted her. I did call her, she didn't answer. I texted her. I said, "Are you going to come speak?" And she said, "No, we're under the understanding that all of you on Adkins Avenue are for it." And I said, "Absolutely not. I've talked to all 10 of my neighbors. I have their signatures. We're
Vice
against
Chair.
it." Yep. So anyway, so just, we're not for this. So I wanted to actually present these signatures.
Okay, Ms. Todd, your time is expired.
Just go right ahead and present it to her.
Madam Chair. So if again, I'm going to ask the same question that we asked Ms. Atkins, since she is the petitioner here. Would you be opposed to it if it did not have gas?
I don't look at Mr. Ali as an enemy at all. So if I'm presenting it like that, I apologize. That's not. What I do see the enemy is gasoline and alcohol sales in an area that were fragile to begin with and were oversaturated. It's not just from Uri Drive to Kings Highway. It's within a 3-block radius. 2 gas stations, 3 alcohol, if you count Brookshire's, 3 alcohol and liquor establishments. That's what we're opposed to. Put a whole develop that whole property in a U shape and put restaurants and put boutiques, put shops, we'll support you 100% because I love local ownership. I love to support local. So let some person come and rent a space out from him. We'd be happy to shop there. We just don't need that. And how they say they think maybe 50%, we're all opposed for it. All of us are opposed to it.
Okay.
All of us.
Let us, if you don't mind, give that to her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Graham Todd.
Graham Todd, 503 Atkins. So obviously married to Pam Todd. It's our house on the corner that would look at all of this and has been looking at it for the last 10 years. My concern, Madam Chair, and with the city attorney was that Mr. Spikes was allowed to just pop up without being asked a question, Mr. Boucher, and just start speaking. That was my concern about procedure. That's why I was very concerned about how that was happening. I understand there was an appellant and there was an applicant, but he was not asked a question. He just spontaneously provided information while the MPC was speaking. There's been a lot said, but fundamentally what this is about whether the MPC engaged in planning. We've heard talk about Mr. Lyons and other people talking about the plan for Kings Highway to narrow it down to 1 lane each way with a center lane. Why would it make sense if we're engaging in planning to add another gas station within actually a 2-block, really a 1-block area, because it's from Highland to Gilbert. It would be another gas station and a 4th location selling beer and wine. There is no shortage of gas that anybody has identified, and there is certainly not a shortage of beer and wine that anybody has identified. The plan for the frontage and the way it looks, that makes a lot of sense. Restaurants actually thrive in this area. Madam Chair, as you said, I was about to tear up when you were talking about our neighborhood. Because when you look at the area where Key Mexico is and, you know, what Louder Baking has done and Doc's and how they're redoing Maryland's Place and Johnny's Pizza, everybody wants to hang out. And then Fat Calf, look how that place has turned around.
I may be found on that patio from time to time, and you'll get your time.
Yes,
You'll
sir.
get your time back.
I'll join you. I love it. I mean, my wife's, you know, she knows that's my favorite place to go pretty much. Right. Key Mexico. That's all we think. Guess what? Did work there for 50 years and was almost world famous, was Don's Seafood, a restaurant. People came from New Orleans, is my understanding. My wife's father lived in New Orleans and would come up. He now lives in Arkansas. That place was famous. We can do that again. When the applicant said that the gas station was ancillary, you just heard that it is actually fundamental. It is the fundamental piece of what's going in here. And then the next piece is beer and wine. That is what the gas station brings people in, book of common sense. The beer and wine has, anybody knows this in business, has the highest margin of profit. That's what makes the profit to support those other things. You bet. Those other things are great. But other businesses have demonstrated that good community-oriented restaurants make the area thrive. A month ago, Shreveport announced Amazon, a ginormous victory, unheard of in decades for this city. Incredible. This is not fitting with that plan of how we want to turn around Kings Highway, where all of these 500-plus workers are going to come. They're not coming to visit a gas station. They want to come tell you. When you talk about Shreveport, what do they say? Food. That's the first thing. Restaurants, good. No one wants to drink gas.
Mr. Todd.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
ma'am.
Todd.
I apologize. I was just feisty
It's
on
okay.
procedure.
I understand,
Yes, ma'am.
especially when you're talking about
It's
your
my house. It's
community.
been, my kids are raised there.
Yes, sir.
They've gone to they both went to Magnet Seminary. They both went through LSU Health Sciences. One is now a speech pathologist. The other one just managed to be a doctor here, to stay here as a doctor. They both own houses here. We now own 3 houses in our family. We came here as the military. We changed and made this place. That's what we're fighting for. Sorry.
I totally understand that. Don't apologize.
Thank you.
Don't apologize. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And
No,
congratulations on
No,
the
no.
match for your daughter.
London Todd.
Hi, my name's London Todd. I live at 602 Linden. Sorry, it just made me tear up. I'm really here just kind of speaking on behalf of myself personally. I don't have anything prepared. So I bought a house on Linden Street, 4 streets away from this. I did grow up with my parents at Atkins Avenue. Obviously, this means a lot to a lot of the people that live in that area, that we are very against it. My mom wanted me to read off some of the stuff she didn't get to say. So in the home that I grew up in until I moved away, 4 streets away a couple years ago, this property, she went out and measured it with a little tape measure. It'll be 29.5 feet away from their house. This lovely couple sitting on the 3rd row, it'll be 30 feet away from their house. Dr. Billy, it'll be 30.7 feet away from her house, and like the list goes on. At the end of the day, like, I love South Highlands. I bought a house in the area. I grew up in that area. Like my dad just said, I just matched here for residency to hopefully still train here and practice here as an adult. And like, I plan on having kids in the next couple years. And unfortunately, it would definitely make me feel less comfortable sending them to the grandparents' house when it's like so close to an area that we know would potentially down the line have downstream effects that could negatively affect them, whether it's like crime or late hours, or we all know what gas stations potentially bring. We've all kind of reiterated that. So I'm thinking about my future family, and I don't know. I think we all take a lot of pride in the area that we live in, and I recommend South Highlands to a lot of medical students coming in. Like, it's oversaturated with students that go to LSU and Centenary and whatnot. And I think that it will not bring anything positive to our area, especially as a young person who plans on living there for the next, hopefully, several decades. So that's kind of all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your match, and you're still going to be playing the piano and singing, correct?
I will. Not as much
Okay.
as I do, but
Okay.
yes, hopefully still. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hunter Todd?
Y'all just had a whole Todd family, huh?
Hi, my name is Hunter Todd. I live at 5730 Lovers Lane, Shreveport, Louisiana. There's actually a sober house on Atkins Avenue. I'm sure my mother measured it. I don't have the distance, but it is next door to Dr. Augustine Billings' residence, and so I'm going to guess maybe 50, 70 feet. So it's a sober living home for those who are recovering from alcohol addiction. So a man who is living there could not take off work to come, but he wrote a letter and he asked for us to read it, so I'm just going to read that for him. His name is Josh Wood. It says, "To whom it may concern, I'm writing to formally express my strong opposition to the proposed construction of a wine and beer gas station near our sober living home. Our residence is a structured recovery environment that provides individuals in early sobriety with a safe, supportive place to rebuild their lives. Many of us are working hard every single day to maintain long-term recovery from alcohol and substance use disorders. Stability, routine, and reduced exposure to triggers are critical components of that process. Placing a retail establishment that prominently sells alcohol directly across from a sober living home creates a significant and unnecessary risk to the health and well-being of the residents. Early recovery is a vulnerable time. Proximity to alcohol sales increases temptation, impulse access, and environmental triggers that can jeopardize sobriety and undermine the progress residents have worked so hard to achieve. Beyond the impact on current residents, this decision could also discourage future individuals seeking recovery housing in our community. Sober living homes are an asset to the city. They reduce relapse, decrease strain on emergency services, promote employment, and help individuals become productive, tax-paying members of society. We respectfully request that the city consider the public health implications of this proposal and deny approval for an alcohol retailer in such close proximity to recovery residents. Protecting vulnerable populations and supporting recovery efforts strengthens our entire community. Thank you for your time and consideration. Josh Wood, 533 Atkins Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Mr. An?
Ian.
I couldn't read your last name, sorry.
She said
I
she
couldn't read your
last
writing,
name.
your last name.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Ian Cairns. I live on 507 Atkins Avenue with my wife Patricia. Live next door to the Todd tribe. We've been there for almost 25 years. We moved in while Don's was still a thriving restaurant. That was one of the reasons we moved there. Back in the day, Kings Highway was a busy street with lots of restaurants and bars. You could eat at Joe's, you could go to Merle's. There was probably 10 different places you could go to.
Morrison's.
George's.
And
Anyway.
I love the design. We all do. And I've been to all of the meetings. And I guess when you go to a meeting, it's like watching a boxing match. You think your guy won, but the other guy actually beat him. And I don't recall people liking the design. The second meeting we went to, we thought it was a done deal. The gas station got voted down. So there was no reason really to get into it with Mr. Ali. We love the design. Take out the gas and the liquor. We'll go there all the time. We'll stop cooking at the house. But right now, we never go to a gas station for dinner. Did any of you guys? I mean, it's not something you do. I mean, gas stations are quick in and out. It brings in the wrong element, if it's okay to say that. And I just don't think it brings anything to the community. As you can see, we've got a wonderful street. Our neighborhood, we all know each other. We all know each other's kids. There's a sense of community over there. And it's something that the city should be building on. And I think a commercial gas station like this would look great on I-20 somewhere, but not in the middle of a neighborhood. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Madam Chair, that concludes public comments.
Okay, where do we proceed from here, since we've concluded with public comments?
I believe now it would be to discussion and a vote.
Is there any further discussion? Councilman Brooks?
I think I'd like to motion today to, I kind of agree with Councilman Talaferro. I'm concerned about the one entrance in and out. I'm also concerned, well, I'm opposed to the entrance on Highland, so if the one entrance doesn't work, then this development doesn't work. So I would like to remand it back for a traffic study.
Second.
So, the motion on the table is to remand this particular case back to the MPC.
Planning Commission.
It has been motioned by Councilman Brooks, second by Councilman Jackson. Is there any other discussion? So, Attorney Tanner, can you tell the audience what does that mean?
So if that vote passes, I believe, I don't know if it would make it to the next MPC meeting. I think Mr. Jean could clarify that as far as the timeline, but it would go back to the MPC for another public hearing and public vote based on the instructions that you would give to the MPC. So in this case, a traffic study, and it would go back for a vote at the MPC and then come back to council.
Mr. Morgan, is traffic a part of your, can you come up, please?
And Madam Chair, while he's coming up, Councilman Brooke, can we also include the stipulations that Ms. Ashley presented for MPC to consider those as well?
Of course.
How long does it take for a traffic study to be done?
Right now, we don't have a traffic engineer. It's on the agenda for you guys to go ahead and vote on one. So that would probably take up to a month. But we do have engineers in place that can take the responsibility of a traffic engineer. That was going to be my concern if we send it back. And I was just talking to Stephen about it. Maybe we should put a traffic engineer on the MPC board before it goes before council, so all of that will be approved before it comes to put on the agenda, and we'll have all that in the situation. Now, I do have a concern with the one entry. That is a big factor. It has to meet a certain radius before to turn onto ongoing traffic, and I believe DOTD has to approve it as well. Am I correct? Not on this one, for as Kings Highway, but I am concerned about the one entryway. Other than that, I don't see any oppose on what's going on, but I don't believe the one entryway will work for him. And you oppose the Highland entry, which that leads up. It's a possibility that could happen because, you know, the Circle K in the area has the entry into the neighborhood off of Kings Highway as well. So we can look into it, do the traffic study. But I say it may take a month or so, being that we don't have an actual traffic engineer on staff.
So Madam Chair. Let me ask you this question real quick. So the traffic engineer position that you're looking at hasn't been sent to the clerk yet?
Yes, it's on the agenda.
It's on there,
It's for
so
the
it
next
won't be
council
voted on. The traffic engineer will not be voted on until
April 14th.
April 14th, because the
Yes.
council will be off for 3 weeks. At that time, what Mr. Morgan is saying is he would want an engineer to attend the MPC
Correct.
meeting. That would take place, the third Wednesday in April?
Yeah.
Will there be enough sufficient time to be on the agenda, or will it lay over to May?
At least May, because we still have to have a study.
Okay, so it would be May to at least have a study at that time after the engineer has been confirmed, correct?
Now, granted, that the engineer is already on staff. We just switching the position, so we could speed it up if that's possible, because he's already on staff. He's working as an assistant engineer. He's just moving to traffic engineer.
Okay.
So what we required the Ellerby Road people to do is they paid for their own traffic study. And is that not correct, Mr. Jean? Correct. They had to pay for their own traffic study, and our engineer approved or denied what that
Yeah.
study came back
That's
at.
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
So are you asking the?
Mr. Ali to pay for
I'm
it.
not,
I'll
I'm
let
just,
it pay for
I
it.
don't want to do it for one person and not do it for the other one. That's up to the MPC, I
The
think.
developer spent all that money and then you didn't approve it.
Yeah, well, we did that on Ellaby Road.
Right.
Mr. Jean?
Traffic studies are typically paid for by the applicant. It's their burden to show that works. So that what would happen is that it gets prepared and then it gets reviewed by the traffic engineer to make sure that everything is proper.
And I think y'all at that point, since we didn't have one, y'all contracted it out for somebody to review that.
No, we still have someone on track, on staff that looks into it. It's just not a continual situation because we don't have someone to look at them all day long. But if it's something like this, we have engineers on staff to be able to look at it. So it won't take a long process as you're thinking. I'm just letting you know that we are working on a traffic engineer.
Mr. Brooks? What's your thought process?
I'm sorry?
What's your thought process?
Same motion.
Okay. So, the traffic study has to be conducted, during this particular process. You all would not looking at, I'm gonna say, looking at May, possibly be June, just depending on how everything falls into place once you get those particular results back. So I'm just gonna say that to be safe. We've already made a motion, sir. You'll have to ask us after the meeting. Didn't I say we already made the motion? Don't worry, we'll get somebody to speak to you afterwards for sure, okay? All right, so it's been motion and second. Discussion is closed. So we remand this back to the MPC with the traffic study, along with the stipulation that Ms. Ashley included there, and we'll await for those particular findings. That closes discussion. Okay, Mr. Tanner?
I don't believe there is an actual vote.
Okay, so we don't have to vote?
So I just want to make sure.
Okay, so yeah, make sure y'all have it all in the record. Okay?
And y'all have the list of stipulations that Mr. V.
Has,
We need to send that to him, I guess.
please. Okay. All right. If there is nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.
We got to vote.
Oh,
gotta
no, she
vote.
said we got to vote. I thought
still
you
gotta
just said
vote.
we didn't have to vote.
Said we had to.
Okay, that's what we were getting ready to do. Okay, so it's nothing else. Let's vote. My computer is shut down. Okay.
That passes
It's
with a
passed with
7-0 to remain.
Okay, ma'am.
We still have the rest of the agenda to go through.
What's the other agenda?
We got a clerk's note, and then Tanner has to read something for the record as well. And if you guys have any additional comments.
We don't have any additional comments.
I got one additional comment.
You have one?
One.
One.
I would like to see us, and I meant to say this while we were talking about domestic violence, I would like to see you as the chairwoman come up with a domestic violence and sexual assault committee that works on this and have somebody from the administration as well involved in that. And you pick whoever you want, but I think that for it to be collaborative, we should have a few council members, some people from the public, and things like that.
Karen Barnes would be one that I choose,
Okay,
for sure. Okay, we'll
work on that.
Okay. Thank you for making yourself available for that. Okay. So. Marisol now is not here. Are there any appeals, Madam Clerk?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are there any reports from officers, boards, and committees? Are there any reports from boards, officers, and committees?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Madam Clerk, is there a clerk's report?
The following level of appointment was received from the mayor's office on March 18, 2026, and is subject for confirmation on April 14, 2026. City Traffic Engineer Robert Taylor.
Okay.
And now Tanner has something he needs to read.
Notice is hereby given in accordance with Section 19.1 of Title 42 of the Louisiana Revised Statutes of 1950 as amended, that the mayor and city council of the city of Shreveport, state of Louisiana, the city, acting as the governing authority of the city at its regularly scheduled meeting on April 14th, 2026, at its regular meeting place, Government Chambers of Government Plaza, 505 Travis Street, Shreveport, Louisiana, at 3 p.m., will discuss and consider adopting a resolution ordering and calling an election to authorize a special ad valorem tax on properties subject to taxation within the downtown development district upon approval by the qualified voters of the city of Shreveport, and if passed, for such tax to be levied thereafter.
He's been waiting for 45 minutes to do that.
Mayor Arsenault is not here. Does any council member have any additional comments? Executive session, none. If there is nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.
Help, Jim.